tornadoes today and large ones. Okay, so let's go back over to Max 3 and let's look at this rotation here and see what it's done. So here's this low-level lock, by the way, near Sayre. This looks to be getting tornadic here very, very soon. Okay, Sayre sounded their sirens. Let's go up and look at the velocities there. Let's get Mike Bennett here in the queue, guys. Mike Bennett in the queue. Low-level lock here, south side of Sayre. Go, Mike Bennett.
Okay, yeah, Mike, we are heading towards Butler. We're going to drop south. We'll be in position on here in just a little bit. We got just nothing but dark skies to our southwest. We're blasting southwest to get in position on it towards Butler and then south, and then we'll find some other options to get west.
Appreciate that. Let's go back over to the quad box here and take a look, and we're going to go back to Aaron Brackett and Mark Dillard. As we head through this, you folks in Kiowa County, this is really a dangerous situation that may well be developing right now. Big low mesocyclone, it's strengthening. It's a really big circulation. Potential of getting a large violent tornado may well be climbing in this storm right now. Tornado is not currently on the ground, but there is a tornado warning in effect, and that rotation is quite large. We see the mountains there off in the distance, and this is very, very low, intensifying rotation that physically is really, really wide and really, really large. So this is important for Kiowa County. Let's go to Mark Dillard here live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. We're continuing with this rotation. It's beginning to really wrap up here on the front side. And if this thing could wrap right around and fill in, and then I've also got on the far side, I've got basically dueling rotations here, Mike, that are going to try to wrap around into one another. And this is basically when large tornadoes, you see this kind of effect with large tornadoes, Mike. This whole rotation area eventually fills in and comes down to the ground. So folks here at the lake over toward Lone Wolf and basically to the immediate east side of the lake at Lugert, you're going to want to take your tornado precautions right now. I'm on the north side of Blair at the Split, Mike. We just took Highway 44 off of Highway 6 here at the Split, and it's very, very ragged, but it's a very broad rotation. And like I said, I've seen this before where this rotation eventually catches up to itself and pins it, basically pulls itself down, and then you have a large tornado. The rotation on the front side's pretty rapid. The back side's pretty rapid, but on the east side, it seems to be a little slow. So it may not be able to catch up with itself completely on this attempt, but we'll continue to track it here. Mike, back to you.
Stay there for now. Okay, so big rotation here, 3 south of Sayre from the fire department, and Mike Bennett's on that rotation, 3 south of Sayre. Really big mesocyclone here, really, really low. A lot of upward motion here. The inflow is really strong into it. When the chopper shot comes up on this, let us know as well, because they're right on this tornadic supercell. Let's show you where this is. Let's go to the storm tracker right now. And this is a heads up for you folks in Kiowa County. This is dangerous. This is a dangerous storm right here. Red line, center line, pretty much for Hobart, and then over toward Mountain View and Gotebo, okay? So Lugert, Lone Wolf, Hobart 313. It's currently 246. 314 for Hobart, 313. Rocky, Gotebo, Mountain View 347. And then from there, Corn and Colony at 403, which is just to the south of Weatherford. You folks in Binger, you're close to the red line, center line. It's going to be more like the 4:30 time frame for the Binger area. And here's Canadian County, and the West Metro is right here. Canadian County and the West Metro is right here. And by that time, you're looking at, about 5 o'clock. About 5 p.m. This is a massive supercell here, huge rotation. Let's go back over to Max 3 and show you this rotation here. Starting to get little pockets here of developing TVS signatures. Or just now, the next stage is going to be a tornado here with this, and it is tracking right on the southern sides of Lone Wolf. Keep in mind, 4-inch giant size hail, 4-inch giant size hail, and then over toward Hobart. It's heading right for Hobart. We really do prefer storm cellar, basement, or a safe room today, or the most substantial place that you know. And we want to give you a heads up way down the line with these, so you know that these are coming. Mobile homes in these tornado winds are not safe. They are not safe. So let's go back over to the intensity display, Damien, and let's check this out. You'll see the hook here is going to be gradually spinning up. You see it happening right there before your eyes. Let's back out of this shot. Other areas of the state need attention here. Let's go to those right now. So here's the rotation very close to Sayre. Let's come on into that. Mike Bennett's on this particular storm here, and it's going to be right there traveling right over Sayre. There is some rotation and spin, and the sirens are going off in Sayre, giving the folks a heads up of the hail and the wind. Golf balls are in Sayre right now. That was that core right there. Say that again.
I'm sorry, granted.
Golf balls in granite. Okay, golf balls in granite back on that storm. So we have hail, though, in the Sayre area currently and on up toward the northern side of Elk City. This little cell there is coming up. A lot of these have spin with them today. Even the smaller ones have spin. And this has a lot of mid-level rotation, but no low-level rotation. And that's down by Duke in western Jackson County and east of Hollis and east of Gould. That's heading up toward Mangum right now. Let's back out a little bit more, Damien, see what's coming up across the Red River. Other little areas of mid-level spin, huge supercell right down here. That's not a problem yet for us, but could be for Wichita Falls and Burke Burnett and up toward Chattanooga here a little bit later on. Massive supercell there, northwestern Texas. Yeah, let's keep going on up here. And by the way, we've got Emily Sutton here kind of at the Metro's front door at Weatherford. She's going to be jumping into this here momentarily. And also John Slater. We've got the Chopper. We've got Corey. We've got Aaron. We've got Mark Dillard. We've got Pusateri. We've got Travis. We got all sorts of trackers out here. And let's get Corey on this one right here. So Corey, we'll check in with him west of Woodward. That is a strong supercell there with a severe thunderstorm warning and mid-level rotation. Now, this is all western Oklahoma, and they're all moving to the northeast and to the north-northeast. As they produce tornadoes, they turn more to the right and to the northeast. That's been the trend. You see our storm trackers right over here. Let's go ahead and take this moment here to take a look at the broad view as we go over to Max 2. Here's the broad view, and we're going to run all the way through this. Severe thunderstorm warnings here. That's Ellis County. Severe thunderstorm warnings west of Clinton. That's Sayre and Elk City up toward Moorwood and Leedy. Tornado warning for the area southwest of Hobart right now. Dangerous situation for Kiowa County. Supercells down by El Dorado and Gould, and then down near Kroll in the Texas Panhandle. And these are all lifting to the north-northeast and the northeast, and they will eventually likely come out of western Oklahoma and approach the I-35 corridor and the Highway 81 corridor as we head through the later afternoon hours. Here it is 2:50 in the afternoon. Big supercell with a very large area of rotation that is getting much, much stronger. Tornado looks possible at any time. So review your severe weather safety plan. Western into central Oklahoma. You can download our app if we have that full screen, KFOR.com. We're also streaming on Facebook. So there are a lot of ways to get your information. We really prefer Facebook Live, which we are doing, and also on television. Those are the two preferred choices. There's the Forewarn Me app at KFOR.com/app center. And it's just another way to keep you safe and keep you forewarned. And that's what we really want, especially on days like this. It's so important as Oklahomans that we certainly do this. Here's the high risk. The high risk for in purple here, the moderate risk all the way down to southwestern Oklahoma and over toward the metro. This is the moderate risk. This is the two areas where the longer tracked tornadoes are the most likely. The high risk and the moderate risk area. And then there's the enhanced risk along that. 4-inch diameter hail, 90-mile-an-hour winds. Greatest threat of the 90-mile-an-hour winds is in the orange. And the greatest threat of the softball size hail up to softball, 4 inches in diameter, give or take. Softball might even be a couple of grapefruits today. Wouldn't be impossible to get something like that in the dark shade of blue. Western and then eventually into central Oklahoma. Your timing is the rest of this afternoon into this evening. F3 plus tornadoes are possible. We've already had tornadoes down here at the very edge of this bright red. So tornadoes in the dark red, tornadoes in the bright red, all certainly possible. And the metro is in that area as well. We have a moderate tornado threat, but it doesn't begin until 4:30 in the afternoon into the late afternoon and the evening hours for the metro. 80-mile-an-hour winds and 2.5-inch diameter hail. And you see right here, we have a lot of supercells on future radar that will continue to develop. Let's go back over to our storm tracker here, and let's go right back to the coverage here on these supercells. We're going to go right into this area south of Lone Wolf. There's your time of arrival right there. Let's go over to Aaron Brackett now live. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, just south of the Quartz Mountain area, and we were told that there's a wreck up ahead. Not sure if it's storm-related or not, but we're getting turned around. Let's see if we can go ahead and look at the rotation in between the mountains. It's very strong, very strong. We're just south of the Quartz Mountain area. So folks up near Lone Wolf, I mean, you really got to look out. This thing has strong rotation, very low to the ground, very dangerous. And once again, not sure about what's going on traffic-wise through this area, but it appears that there was some incident, could very well be weather-related. We just don't know at this time. But folks out ahead of this, got to look out. This thing is still wrapping up big time.
Okay, Aaron, appreciate that. So let's go over to Max 3 and let's look at the nice job. So you can clearly see right now what is the dominant storm. So here's Oklahoma City right here. The West Metro's right here. You can clearly see this massive supercell, really well organized for a supercell, just about perfectly organized. Let's go ahead and push on into it. Many of these are rotating today, and that's why there's an outbreak in the forecast for today, including the possibility of large damaging tornadoes. You see the hook here coming around. Let's look at the velocities here, Damien. And to the southwest of Hobart, dangerous situation here. Now quickly coming into Hobart. So, Steve, if we can get the chopper a little further to the east, up toward the southeast side of Hobart is where he wants to be. The chopper wants to be sitting here on the southern and southeastern sides of Hobart. I cannot express to you enough how dangerous this is for the Hobart area. The very strong, large rotation is going directly toward Hobart. It's now very close to Lone Wolf, and it's pretty much coming right down Highway 9 toward Hobart. You're under a tornado warning. We prefer shelter below ground, storm cellar, or basement, or the most substantial shelter that you know of on days like this. We may have some violent tornadoes today, and they may be long tracked and damaging tornadoes, and this circulation is heading right for Hobart right now. Let's have Emily head south out of the South Weatherford area. Let's have her get on this storm currently so she can come in and close in on this storm here as it comes toward Hobart. Let's go back to the intensities and let's see how the hook is shaping up here. And this is going to be, yes, coming right in on Hobart right now. Let's go back to Aaron Brackett here live with an update. Aaron?
It's flat. Okay. Nice. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so Aaron's talking to some officials there. Let's go to Mark Dillard. Mark, are you with us?
Yes, Mike. We were there at that scene with the troopers, and that I can confirm what Aaron was saying. He said they had the road blocked because they had several vehicles involved in an accident just here on the south side of the lake. So we're having to work our way back around here. And you're looking at that most intense portion of the storm there, the circulation that's basically going to be over the south side of the lake here and moving off to the north and east, like you said, toward Hobart. So folks in Hobart and Lone Wolf, this is your time now. You live in between there, south of there, even also toward Babs, and maybe even if it was able to turn right a smidge, even between Roosevelt there. So just heads up for folks. I don't have a full-blown textbook funnel right now, Mike, but I do have very, very intense rotation. We're going to work our way around the mountains here, and we'll be right back on it. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that, Mark Dillard. Let's go to Aaron Brackett with an update. Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, you might have heard some conversation there between the state troopers and myself. Basically, on the little two-lane road that goes through the mountains, there was a head-on collision. It appears to be quite serious. So they've actually shut that down right now. They're going to reopen the road as soon as they can. They're actually waiting on a record to get there. So, they were talking about, the trooper was talking about massive hail. He wouldn't confirm, but he believes that had something to do with it. So, once again, folks, tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, anything, any storm that forms today, I wouldn't be out in it whatsoever if you can help it. We've already, this is the first wreck or incident of the day, and we want to prevent as many as possible. It's a very volatile situation. Assume anything that goes up today is going to, at the very least, having just very large hail. So we're going to get around this. We're going to get back on the storm for you, Mike.
Okay, let's go to Jeremy Carter with an update. Jeremy, let's go to your stream, and let's go to your stream here, and tell us where you are right now.
Mike, I'm in Babs, just south of Hobart, and I'm looking over at Courthouse to Luger Lake. You can see the wall cloud. It's pretty well organized. There's one point I thought I seen the funnel a little bit ago, but of course, with the mountains, it's kind of hard to get a good view. But Mike, it's headed right towards me. I'm going to stay here and focus over. I've got a good view of it when it goes down. If it does, I will be able to report it to you when it happens. Back to you.
Yeah, really low and really strong circulation here with a lot of areas here of rotation. Jeremy, can you pan a little bit off to your right? Can you pan a little bit off to your right here? This is down coming into Hobart right now. Really large circulation, tornado warning in effect. Large circulation, very low to the ground, multiple areas of rotation. There could be tornadoes in that as we speak. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over to max 3. Let's look at the velocities inside of this. And so here's Hobart. Yeah, it's looking more and more tornadic here by the moment on the southeast side of Lone Wolf. So you're in Babs, Jeremy, you're in Babs, Oklahoma. So let's stay with your shot, and the chopper's now coming up. They're going to be hovering on the southern sides of...
He's trying to talk to you.
Hobart, who is?
Jeremy.
Jeremy, go, Jeremy.
Like there's a funnel on the north edge of this wall cloud, and I can't see that it hit the ground, but a funnel off the north edge of the wall cloud.
Yeah, right here.
It's right southwest of Hobart.
Okay. Some wind damage south of Gage, Oklahoma in Ellis County. Dozen power poles snapped south of Gage in Ellis County. So a little funnel cloud here, and the chopper is on this one as well. Little funnel cloud here. Yeah, right. Little funnel cloud came out right here. You've got a vertical wall here which says the mesocyclone's spinning fast. This is about over Lone Wolf right now is where this is. And this is likely tornado genesis, intermittent tornadoes. They've got a vertical wall here on the northern side of the wall cloud. That indicates some rapid spin, tail cloud coming in above it. So this is dangerous here, Lone Wolf and Hobart. A lot of motion there, bunch of motion. And it's coming right down the highway toward Hobart right now. Little bitty funnels here constantly are forming and reforming. You look carefully, I had a couple right there forming and reforming. This is right on the eastern and southeastern sides of Lone Wolf, heading directly for Hobart. Emily Sutton now is arriving on the scene as well. This is taken from near Babs. Let's go back to Jeremy Carter here live. Jeremy? Okay, let's go over to max 3 here. And let's look at this particular storm right here. So the velocity here really is getting up to tornado strength right now, and it's heading, can't express enough how dangerous this is now for Hobart. Coming into Hobart here, very large, rapid rotation now, and it's turning right. It's turning right, coming right down the highway. Exceptionally dangerous for Hobart. Hobart, Oklahoma, tornado precautions right now. Interior closet or bathroom, I tell you, violent tornadoes are possible today. And we don't necessarily want to tell you a place that may not be safe in a really violent tornado. So what we're talking about is we prefer storm cellar, basement, safe room, someplace that is really substantial. The chopper is over the airport at Hobart right now. The chopper's over the airport at Hobart. Have him climb just a little bit, and we can probably get his shot out from Hobart. Let's go back to Jeremy Carter. So again, violent tornadoes, you need to ask yourself, where am I going to be safe in the Hobart area if a violent tornado comes through the Hobart area? That's what you need to be asking yourself right now. Where am I going to be safe if a violent tornado comes through Hobart? And you need to know exactly where those places are, and you need to get there right now. You need to get there right now. Dangerous situation. These minutes tick by so fast when these things are developing, and they often come up on you very, very quickly. So where will you be safe if there's a violent tornado coming through the Hobart area? Ask yourself that question. If you're in Hobart right now, if you know friends or loved ones in Hobart, call them. Make sure they are aware, and I'm sure they are aware. But this is coming in from Lone Wolf right now into Hobart with a really powerful and large mesocyclone on a day where damaging tornadoes and large tornadoes are possible. Let's go back to Jeremy Carter here live. Jeremy?
Mike, I would say that that meso is trying to consolidate, and it's still right over the mountains there. You can see it, and I'm watching it really close. I've yet to see a touchdown, with my eyes. I'm not saying there ain't nothing there, but it definitely appears, from what I'm seeing, to be kind of reorganizing and getting a better handle on itself.
Okay, appreciate that. We're just going to keep very close track of this. Let's go over to max 3 and take a look at the wind inside of this. So here it is on the northeast side of Lone Wolf. The rotation has perhaps lessened just a little bit here in just the past couple of minutes. As you see, it got really hot there with really tight rotation in localized areas underneath a big mesocyclone. That was probably the little funnels that we're showing you.
5 southwest of Hobart, multiple.
5 southwest of Hobart from
Ham radio.
Yeah, from ham radio, multiple funnels. That's what we just showed you about 2 minutes ago. So that's, and you can see it, you can actually see it happening right there. You look for the really hot colors inside of the green and the red, right? And you can see the little funnel clouds in my eye. Look at that. So here's another live view. So the mesocyclone ever so slightly ramped down, but it may be ramping back up, and it is still heading directly for Hobart. Let's go over to Jeremy Carty looking at it live.
All right,
Okay.
Mike. You see this scud hanging down. It is spinning. It is rising. I do think that the rotation is consolidating and getting better organized. Anyways, it's still just to my northwest. I'm sitting right in the town of Babs. Anyways, I'll be right here, Mike. Back to you.
Yeah, so what we have going on here, so here's Dillard's shot. Here's Jeremy's shot. Let's take Jeremy's shot full. Continue a dangerous situation for Hobart. All right, let's just study this. Jeremy, if you can, turn your windshield wipers off. Turn your windshield wipers off for a minute. So, it looks like the obvious, which is a funnel here. Funnel cloud here may or may not be a tornado. It's almost the half-down rule. If you can, Jeremy, turn your windshield wipers off. And then next to that, we've got this area of rotation here. It's a big area of rotation, and it's heading directly for Jeremy right now. The chopper also coming online. He's over Hobart currently, hovering over the airport. And that looks like a funnel cloud there that may or may not be intermittently touching the ground. Almost the half-down rule on that for the condensate. And there you see it kind of spinning out. Looking at that live there from Jeremy Carter. Jeremy, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what you got. What do you see?
It appears, Mike, to be lifting back up, that area that was hanging down so low, and kind of cycling out again. But, man, this thing I've been watching, it wouldn't surprise me if they don't get its act together any minute again. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. So let's go over to the storm tracker right now. Let's go over to the storm tracker, and we'll kind of back out here. So here's all of western Oklahoma right here. And then here's central Oklahoma right here. So here's Highway 81. Here's I-35 right here, Norman, Oklahoma City, Guthrie. So all this is in western Oklahoma right now. A lot of mid-level rotation, a bunch of mid-level rotation. And then we have this one really well-organized, big supercell. It's had a history of producing tornadoes and funnel clouds. And then we have back down to the southwest here, down a little middle of rotation here near Hollis, and also down south of Mangum right now. But right now, this is the main storm here that has the greatest potential of tornadic activity. And I took this out 2 hours into the future here. Took it out 2 hours into the future. So Mountain View 333, Colony 355, and Albert and Eakley at 402 and 410. And from there, it's pretty much red line, center line for El Reno. I took it out for 2 hours because these supercells on days like this, they can travel for dozens and sometimes hundreds of miles. So I took it out for 2 hours. I'm not saying it's going to exist for 2 hours. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it did stay steady state, which it could, the conditions favor that today. This is your approximate 2 hour projection, and it's into the El Reno area. And that timeline on that is going to be about 4:45 this afternoon, the El Reno area. That supercell right there, which has had a history of producing funnels and tornadic activity. Let's go back to Max 3, and we're going to take a look and zoom into it and look at the velocities here. The velocity on that mesocyclone has weakened and does not appear to be tornadic right now. Let's go ahead and back out of that just a hair. Now, we'll go to the intensities here. Let's look at the intensities. And, okay, yeah, so go back to the velocities here again. And the rotation there is on the west side of Hobart. On the western side of Hobart, there may be a secondary rotation or some other type of rotation going on north of Hobart up in the rain right now. But that rotation there has weakened in the Hobart area. You folks continue under a tornado warning, and you need to stay in your safe spot in the Hobart area. All around Hobart, need to stay in your safe spot. Back to the intensities again, and let's go back over to Jeremy Carter. Let's back out here a little bit. Okay, doesn't appear to be tornadic right now, but let's go ahead and get a ground truth update. We'll talk to Mark Dillard here coming up as well. Jeremy?
Mike, I would concur to that. It has lost a lot of its organization. It looks really not very organized at all, to be honest with you. But with the size of this storm, the way it's doing, it wouldn't take much to get another meso to form or this one to re-intensify. Back to you.
Appreciate that. Let's go to Mark Dillard now live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Just hopping on Highway 9 here at Lowell and heading toward Hobart now. You're looking at that circulation area that we are intensely watching. We just worked our way around the lake. The troopers had just wrapped up with a head-on accident. That's what's kind of slowed our progression here. They're just past or just around the Luger area at the curve of the around the dam there. There was a head-on collision. So hopefully that everybody's okay from that. But I wasn't able to determine the situation other than 2 injuries. But we're continuing on now toward Hobart, looking off to our east. And basically the area of circulation has kind of broadened out, kind of flattened out a little bit. Still has some lifting scud up to it, a couple of tacks coming down, occasional funnel. But we're going to continue to track this as it's going to likely try to reform again. Mike, back to you.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. Certainly, we our hopes and prayers with the folks in that traffic accident down there by Hobart a short time earlier this afternoon. So what we have going on right now, there's a bit of a lull, but let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the entire situation right now. Here's the PDS tornado watch. Still 1 tornado warning for the immediate Hobart area. No signs of any tornado on the ground right now from our 3 storm trackers or Bob Moore Chopper 4 that's on it right now, and severe thunderstorm warnings for up toward Harper County and up toward northwestern Woodward County, up by Fargo. That's where Corey Inman is. We've had some wind damage up around Gage, 12 power poles down in the Gage area. Severe thunderstorm warnings there. Ellis County, also central and western Dewey County, back down through western sections of Custer County, and then back down into the Sayre Elk City area. Severe storms continue there. If we have Mike Bennett, we can go to him and we can talk about this storm that is in the Sayre area. This is a PDS tornado watch for particularly dangerous situation, and the tornado warning continues for the Hobart area. Ahead of this line of storms, it's very unstable, and these will be approaching the I-35 corridor later this afternoon and this evening. So here's all of western Oklahoma. Tell Corey, please, to stay on that cell there west of Woodward near Fargo. He needs to stay on that. I'd like to talk to Mike Bennett about this area of rotation near Elk City right now. So let's go to Mike Bennett here on the Elk City rotation there, just to the southeast of town, northeast side of Carter. Mike Bennett. Mike Bennett, you're hot. Go ahead.
Mike, can you hear?
Yes, go.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, we're east of Butler, or I'm sorry, we're west of Butler, and we're on this storm that came up out of the Sayre Elk City area. And we've got a wall cloud right in front of us here. We got the camera on it. It's got some rotation in it, low-level rotation. It's not, imminent right now, but the storm bears watching. We've watched the wall cloud form on it. So we're in position on this one. We're also in position to intercept the storm coming up out of the Elk City area. And it's just there's so many storms up out here, Mike. It's just we've been kind of laying back waiting on which one of them is going to take over and become the most dangerous storm. And right now we're on the we're just south of the storm that just passed over Hammond, and we're in position for the storm coming up towards us from Elk City. Back to you.
Mike Bennett, appreciate that. Now, this is an area of lower rotation. Let's show it to you on Max 3. So this is a bit of a heads up, and it's also turned a little bit more to the right. So this is going to be north of Carter and south of Elk City, another area of heavy rain, possible hail coming into the tornado-damaged area on the southern sides of Elk City right now. This one's turning more to the right, so Mike Bennett's going to be on that. And, Mike, I know you're listening. Don't leave that area of rotation there. South of Elk City and northeast of Carter's, where it is now, southwest of Canute. No tornado warning, but the rotation is lowering in the cloud base. It is severe, and there's large hail there as well. Let's go back to this supercell here. And latest report, a little funnel cloud from Kevin Cosby, one of our trackers here, western sides of Hobart. Let's go ahead and go to Mark Dillard now live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Had an intermittent funnel there, just right there on the edge of the wall. It kind of tightens up, and then it will dissipate. We're going to continue to track this. It looks like it's going to go just north of Hobart here, and we're going to go around town, catch it on Highway 9. So folks over toward Goaty Bow, Rocky, on up toward the Cordell area. Heads up, guys, because this storm's coming your way. I'm sure it's still got large hail on it and damaging winds. Mike, I also want to point out, had a couple of lightning strikes out here that have hit poles and actually caused power flashes from transformers being hit. So you may have intermittent power outages as well as these storms come through. Back to you, Mike.
Mark, appreciate that. So let's go ahead and go over and show you where this is. Little funnel cloud there, west-northwestern side of Hobart. Let's go over to Max 3. And the hook here, the storm has weakened some. So Hobart, from this particular storm, it looks like that you are now, the danger level is lessening. Lessening a bit for Hobart as it is lifting more to the north. That puts Rocky and Sentinel in the big hail up into southern sections of Ouachita County. You folks in Cordell now, heads up for you. It is now lifted, these wobble back and forth, and it's now lifting more to the north. When they begin to produce tornadoes, they turn usually to the right. When the tornado lifts, they usually lift a little bit to the north. Not always the case, but it happens that way a lot. So Rocky and Sentinel, huge hail. Let's look at the hail size here on that, Damien, and check that out. Let's see how big that hail size is. Earlier, we were showing computer about 4-inch, and right now this is about golf ball, perhaps a couple of tennis balls in this currently. Now, let's go ahead and from this storm, we're going to go to another storm that has some low-level rotation with it, 2-inch diameter hail there, northwestern side of Hobart on the backside of that mesocyclones. That's coming into Sentinel right now, 2-inch diameter hail. Could go up, could go down from there. So let's go ahead and back out. Rotation continues to gradually lower a bit, southern sides of Elk City. We're tracking that with Mike Bennett. Now let's go on up here to Fargo, Oklahoma, and we're going to go to Corey Inman here next. This is a well-organized supercell here with low-level rotation. So this is a heads up for Fort Supply and north and west of Woodward. Let's show you a picture of that here from Corey Inman and go to Corey now live. This is an organizing supercell here. Look at that area of rotation. Go, Corey.
Yeah, Mike, I'm 4 miles north of Fargo here, and this area of rotation that you're looking at right over the highways has really started to increase here in the last 5 minutes. It went from basically nothing to what you're seeing now. The rotation has tightened up a little bit. We do have a lot of lifting motion right here in front of us as this tracks on towards Supply. We're going to stay north here and get to the northeast and continue to watch this for you. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, Corey, tell us the trend on this. It certainly is a substantial area of rotation, and it looks like it's been dropping down toward the cloud base here, and I think we can certainly see that right here. Also, good size hail in this. See the hail shaft there. Tell us about the trend on this in the past 5 to 15 minutes or so.
The trend, Mike, is definitely up. Like I said, it went from basically nothing about 10 minutes ago to what you're looking at now. The wall cloud has grown substantially in size and continues to pull scud into it, and the rotation continues to increase as it moves to the northeast.
Okay, appreciate that, Corey Inman, one of our storm trackers up there in northwestern Oklahoma at Fargo, Oklahoma. So let's go ahead and go over to Max 3 and look at this particular storm here. And you see the rotation there. So Fort Supply, severe thunderstorm warning. There is rotation with it, though, and it is kind of leaning a little more to the right. So that's going to be northwestern Woodward County. The Fort Supply area, really large hails. Look at the hail size there on that, Damien. Good size hail there. That's running about golf balls and tennis balls there coming into Fort Supply right now. So let's go back to 1.9 inches in diameter. Let's go back to reflectivity here and look at the intensities of that developing supercell. It does have a lot of mid-level rotation, occasionally mid to low-level rotation. And let's back out. Let's just kind of back straight out and kind of give an overview for you folks in northwestern Oklahoma as we have what's going on now. Other storms coming up from the south here, and a couple of storms out here in southeastern Lipscomb County. Say that again. And Emily's, let's go ahead and head on down here. We're going to go back to Mark Dillard and Emily Sutton's storm. So Leedy, hailstorms around you currently. Most of that hail there. Let's go ahead and do a hail size check on that. Leedy, Morewood area, west and south of Sealing. A lot of quarters there, maybe a couple of small golf balls, nickels, dimes, quarters, a couple of small golf balls there. Let's go ahead and come on down here to that Elk City storm. That's the one that Mike Bennett is on. Let's look at the intensities on that. And we'll see how that one's doing. Northeast of Carter doesn't look too impressive right now. So this bunch of storms out here. More storms is good because it keeps they're competing with one another and it keeps the rotation down on these. So more storms is actually good today. This one out ahead of the line, though. Emily Sutton now is on this, tracking it. The tornado warning now may be about to expire north of Hobart up toward Rocky and Sentinel. It may be reissued, but right now it looks like it may be about to expire and down to a severe thunderstorm warning. Emily Sutton.
Hi, Mike. Mike, we're located just east of Cordell, and we have been watching this on radar since it started as that tornado-warned storm, and it really a great structure when it first went up, very well-defined. Obviously not the case now. It's being wrapped up, still very broad circulation with it. We are approaching it from the northeast, so we're driving in some of the rain right now. Of course, we're being cautious because I know this is going to have a big-time hail core with it. So we are just keeping an eye on it. Of course, these storms will continue their motion to the north-northeast, and eventually we'll be pushing closer to central Oklahoma, and our plan is to just follow it along the way. So again, we haven't run into any hail yet, but definitely some heavy rain is going to be a big issue as we get closer to that circulation, and we're going to keep dropping southwest to see what we can find out of it, and possibly if it recycles, again, we'll be right there to monitor it. Mike?
Emily, nice job. Appreciate that. We're talking to you a lot this afternoon and this evening. Let's go to the quad box here. So basically, what we have right now are a lot of severe thunderstorms. We have many, many storms. Today, more storms is actually better as long as they stay close to each other and they compete with one another. And we have a lot of crews out today. There is a PDS tornado watch in effect. Particularly dangerous situation until 8 o'clock tonight, and that covers a large part of western and central Oklahoma. Let's go to the news desk with Lance West.
Hey, Mike, I want to ask you a real quick question. I was doing a little research. April 14th, 2012. If my research is correct, that's the last high-risk day in Oklahoma, and that was also the day that Woodward was hit by those violent tornadoes. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Does that sound familiar to you?
That Woodward tornado came up really fast there on the western sides of town, Lance, and that tornado got right up there to the high-end EF3 category. Other days where we had high risks, May 3rd, 1999, just to give you an idea, was a high risk. And we will see whether or not we have that many tornadoes today. Of course, that was a very, very high-end event, May 3rd, 1999, but that was a high-risk day. So what we have right here, severe, 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 and tornado warning here expiring for the Rocky Sentinel area. Tornado watch here, PDS tornado watch near and west of I-35. So if you live Highway 81 and west, all of western Oklahoma here, gradually approaching central Oklahoma. The risk for severe weather will be picking up as the afternoon and evening hours move along. So we have a bunch of storms, a whole bunch of storms out here. And right now, more storms is better. That keeps them competing with one another for energy. And we have more supercells, though, coming up with mid-level rotation back through southwestern Oklahoma right now. And this tornado warning here has the actual tornado warning completely expired. It looks like it's in a cycling stage. Let's go to max 3 here. Look at the velocities in this.
Still valid.
Yeah, still valid, still in effect. So, yep. Okay, so, okay, go to intensity here. Rocky, that rotation there. Let's take a look at that. Go to intensity here for Rocky. Yeah, so let's back out of this just a little bit. Back out of the view. A little bigger view here. Come on up to Cordell. Okay, good. Stop. Okay, now let's look at that. Look at that velocity there again. Yeah, this storm has got a couple of areas of rotation in it. The tornado warning still in effect. You've got this. It's cycling is what it's doing. It's cycling, and it's going up toward the Cordell and Corn and Colony area. Let's go over to Jeremy Carter here. This is still chugging toward the western sides of the metro here. We're talking about Caddo County here. There's Hinton, Red Rock Canyon, Western Canadian County here. And a rotation there still very evident now. South side of Cordell, very close to Rocky right now. Jeremy Carter, go.
Yeah, Mike, I can see the rotation. I can see there's a few areas here that are kind of spinning, but it don't look all that organized right now, Mike. It's pretty scary to look at. I'll say ominous. And as far as the way it looks, it don't look all that impressive as a wall cloud. We're going to stay with it, Mike, and keep it monitored so everybody all knows what's going on. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that, Jeremy. Let's go over to Mark Dillard here for an update. Mark?
Yes, Mike, I'll agree with Jeremy that it does not look as organized. Almost, it kind of appears it's starting to kind of blow out a little bit where it can't quite focus the rotation altogether in the areas that we've been watching. So, we've seen these things cycle through. It did drop a tornado down by the Duke area just to the west of Altus. That's been about an hour or so ago. But we're continuing with this as it starts to maybe reorganize a better organized wall cloud there. You can see it in the stream. You've got like two large lowering areas. If those join together, that'll be the new wall cloud. And we'll watch for rotation out of that. Back to you, Mike.
Needs to be southeast of Cordell there. Mark Dillard, appreciate that. So here's the big view. Let's go to the storm tracker. This rotation is cycling. So far that we know of, there's only been damage to one house, and that was down by Duke on the northwest side of Altus. Quite a while ago when we had those tornadoes down there in Jackson County and south of Mangum. Here's just a few of our trackers here lined up on the split screen for you. And the big view is this supercell here. And I don't think it's going to weaken or go away. It doesn't. There's no reason for it to weaken or go away. And right now, it looks like it's starting to turn to the right again. It's kind of wobbling back and forth, but it started out here west of Altus, and now it's on the north side of Hobart. So it's generally heading up into northern Caddo County, near Binger, up toward Red Rock Canyon and Hinton. And then from there, I think we should do just a little small course correction on that because it looks like it's already starting to cycle and lean to the right. So we're going to track edit this is what we're going to do. And we're going to lean it a little more to the right because it's wobbling back and forth, kind of like a hurricane eye, the way it wobbles back and forth. And we'll just kind of course correction that. And I think you're looking probably potentially still the El Reno area. We're going to course correct that just a little bit more here. And it looks like it's leaning a little bit more toward the El Reno area. And there's your time of arrival right there. So you're talking about Alfalfa, Colony, Luquiba there at 436. So you're tracking right in here toward El Reno. I think Binger pretty much is in the path of this as well. And then from there, you could be talking potentially right up here on the west and northwestern sides of Oklahoma City. No indication here from the short range information that we have that these are going to just suddenly go away. So basically, they're just going to keep chugging toward Highway 81 and then eventually toward the I-35 corridor. And the timeline on that, Highway 81, I-35, talking about Kingfisher and Canadian and Grady County, especially Kingfisher and Canadian. I think you're looking at that time frame there, probably right around the 4:30 to 5 o'clock hour as it continues to track to the northeast. Let's go back over to Max 3 as soon as we set up with some model data. Let's go ahead and there you go. Look at radar here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that velocity. So there's the velocity signature there, still gradually intensifying. So Corn Colony, Luquiba, Eakley, Hinton, Red Rock Canyon, that's where that's going. Let's look at the intensities right now. The intensities on that. And southeast side of Cordell there, it is turning more to the right. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard right now with an update on that. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Continue to watch this. This wall cloud is starting to get a little better organized. Still pretty ragged here on the just to the north. Here. We're going to continue to track it. We're going to go in the Cordell area. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, let's go over to Jeremy Carter now on the same storm there, tracking this one down by Corn and Colony. Jeremy, go.
Yeah, Mike, I'm on the south side of this storm, and actually the wind I'm catching is coming out of the storm. I've got a cold outflow wind at this point where I'm at, and I'm on Highway 9 just east of Hobart. So it don't feel really all that threatening to me right at this point, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. Back to Mark Dillard. Go, Mark.
Yes, Mike, I'll agree with we're looking at it. You can't really see it in the stream right now, but
Okay, so what we have going on here, let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker. So currently we have no tornadoes on the ground. That's really good. A lot of storms out there today. More storms is better because they compete for energy. So that's good. North of Morewood there, severe storm there. Activity by Elk City really has weakened some. That's great. Weakened there. Smaller hailstorms there. Storms that are physically small but still could have pretty good size hail. And down into the mesocyclone area. Say it again. Tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. Here it is, almost 3:30 in the afternoon. It's cycling. This is cycling, and it's red line, center line. You see the motion there. It's come out of southwestern Oklahoma. We have no indication it's going to go away. So I think it's going to be cycling up and cycling back down in terms of the tornado and really big hail potential. It's the lead storm, so it's got a lot of fresh energy, a lot of fresh inflow coming into it, and it's very warm and unstable here in central Oklahoma. Here's Caddo County. Here's Canadian County. There's Oklahoma County right right there. So we're talking about near and north of Gotebo and Mountain View, and from there over toward Cowden and Corn and Alfalfa, that area there over through Eakley and Sickles and Hydro and Lukiba, Red Rock Canyon at 442 and hitting around 446, 448 time frame. And it's been a tornado producer already. If we can show that the viewers those videos there, we'll cue those up and show them to you. It was really a spectacular and ominous looking area of tornadoes earlier in the day down by Altus. If we have those control room, let's go ahead and take a look at those. So no tornado warnings now are currently in effect. This was earlier. This was right around the 2:15, 2:10, 2:15 time frame. And this is down by Martha, down in the Altus area. This was from our storm trackers Mark Dillard and also Aaron Brackett. And one house was damaged down here in Jackson County. Of course, not live here. This was earlier, right around the 2:10 to 2:15 time frame. And it really did some amazing things here. Went into the rope stage and gradually roped out and dissipated. And since then, we've had a couple of areas of funnel clouds. There may have been a couple of weak tornado touchdowns. Not confirmed or for sure on that down there by the Hobart area and not too far from Altus Lugert Lake. This was... Okay, Ouachita tornado warning. So let's go back to real-time data now. This was a little earlier, 2:15, 2:30 time frame. So Ouachita County tornado warning. It is cycling. Is it ever cycling? Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. Mark Dillard, new tornado warning here, really cycling up very fast. It jumped east again. What do you think?
Yes, Mike. It still looks a little bit elongated as far as the wall cloud. I see the area that we're concerned with. Let me get turned around here. I'm just about 4 west of Gotebo on Highway 9, and I'm going to turn here and give you a shot of the area that we're looking at here. That kind of gives you an idea of what it looks like. It's a feeder band going into it, Mike, but it looks a little detached to me. So we're going to continue to watch it here, but not quite as organized as it was before, certainly down in the Altus area. Back to you.
I'll tell you what, it's ramping up fast, though. It is ramping up really fast. And let's look at the storm tracker. Mark Dillard, let me ask you, though, are you in a good position for that cycle right now? Tell me.
Yeah, Mike, I'm looking right at it. I'm just to the south and east, watching the whole thing.
Perfect for that. Emily Sutton's also with us, and she probably sees it, too. So let's go get ready for Emily Sutton's stream. When she calls, let's take her stream. Big time ramp up on this cycle. And here's we're time of arrival here. No indications it's going to go away anytime really soon. So we're talking about from Ouachita County into Caddo County. So there's your time of arrival. Cowden over through Alfalfa and Colony, Swan Lake, Sickles and Binger and Lukiba. 432 Lukiba, and you see El Reno right there. There's El Reno, there's Yukon, and there's Piedmont. No indications this storm's going to go away. So there's an increasing possibility, and it's going to become a probability if it doesn't go away. There's an increasing possibility it's going to be affecting the West Metro here a little bit later on, talking about around the 5 o'clock hour coming in from the Binger area and over toward Hinton and El Reno, right around the 5:30 hour. Say it again. Okay, let's go to Emily Sutton live. Emily?
Hi, Mike. We're in Cordell, and the rain's really picking up. I know that circulation's heading our way, and we are starting to get hail. Right now, it is about pea size increasing to dime size and about to turn into quarters. We're hearing it ping, so we're preparing for that hail core to move into Cordell. The winds are really starting to pick up. Oh, lots of fierce lightning. So, hail now moving into Cordell with this severe storm.
Hey, Emily, appreciate that very much. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard, getting quite concerned now on the storm now that is in Ouachita County. Here's the rotation, really picking up. We're going to go to Mark Dillard here momentarily. Let's go over to Max 3. Let's go over to Max 3 here. And rotation here continues to evolve and increase, and it's tightening up right now and turning right. It's tightening up and turning. It's leaning to the right. So we're talking about, here's Colony right here. Here's Colony, the Corn Colony area. Yeah, the rotation's large, and it's increasing, and it's starting to lean to the right. So Corn Colony area, Ouachita County. Let's go over to Mark Dillard here live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. You can see there's actually it's almost like it's trying to anchor, and maybe the front side's trying to split off a little bit. I've got that. I got that forward flank conveyor belting off to the north and east, and I've got an anchor area that's trying to hold up back here. Very, very ragged, but you can see it. Let me widen it out for you. You'll see the bell shape to it and the actual wall cloud itself. This funnel's possibly, Mike, there in the center, right there in the center. Very, very ragged. But you know how we have these when they produce tornadoes very, very low to the ground like this. The entire wall cloud can almost just come down, and these ragged tags basically become independent funnels, and they spin around real fast, and they'll pop up and down. We could be seeing that. In fact, you could almost a horizontal funnel there in the middle, off to the break to the right in the screen, kind of very quickly spun out. So, folks, just to the Godibo out here, to the north and west of Godibo, heads up. I think Mountain View is probably going to be okay, and south of Cordell. So, Mike, back to you.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. Let's go over to the storm tracker. And this is a developing tornado here again, large supercell, and it is tracking to the east, northeast. It's leaned more to the right. So that is a large supercell. It's going to track quite a ways to the south and east of Hobart. And from there, it's going to track into Caddo County. So here's the storm tracker, your time of arrival, and Caddo County tornado warning. And we're talking about Lake Valley and Cloud Chief, Corn, Cowden, and Colony. And then from there, Colony at 404. And then from there, talking about Sickles and Binger and Red Rock Canyon there running about 430. That's going to be near I-40 on the western sides of El Reno is where that is. It's been a multiple tornado producer. Whose stream is this right here? The bottom stream? Who is that?
That's Mark Dillard.
Let's go to Mark Dillard here. Mark, go.
Yeah, I just saw it there. It was almost like it was in contact with the ground very quickly and then spun out again. It's still very, very ragged. The center funnel, if you will, there. But and the scud tries to wrap it around it, but it's also kind of conveyor belting off to the north and east. We also have a new secondary kind of a bell-shaped wall just off to the north and the east, where I was mentioning earlier there on that front side, where it was kind of conveyor belting off and kind of splitting off. So we're going to head on over to Godibo and then get a road north there and be right here with it. Back to you, Mike.
Yeah, it sure looks tornadic right now, Mark. It really looks tornadic. Tell us your exact location right now.
We're going to be about 4 due west of
Okay.
repositioning.
Okay, appreciate that. So let's go back over to Max 3 and look at the rotation. Rotation here has been intermittently ramping up to near tornado strength. And let's go ahead and kind of back out of that just a little bit. So it's a large area of rotation here. Large area of rotation continues. There's little pockets. Got a little inflow right there coming on into it. A little bit of wraparound to it, southeast side of Cordell. Let's go back to Emily Sutton. And Emily's eastbound out of Cordell. And let's see, is she on the Gintner right? Here she is. So Emily's in the rain and hail eastbound on 152. Go, Emily.
Yeah, Mike, blinding rain, wind howling. We had side wrapping rain. I think we might have been on the outer circulation of it. It's still hailing on us, immense lightning. We can barely see in front of us. This has ramped up quickly. And, wow, the winds are going from 2 directions, wrapping around us, sidewinding rain. We're trying to head east to get out of the circulation. But for a while there, while Dillard was on the phone, it was blowing and going, Mike. I mean, Cordell got hit with some very powerful winds.
Okay, Emily, appreciate that. So let's go over to Max 3 again. And so what we have going on right here is we have developing tornado here, Ouachita County. And this is going to be just to the southeast side of Cordell. Emily's eastbound on 152, so she needs to go ahead and keep on trucking east, get out ahead of it, and she's going to see it right there to the south side of the road. So Corn and Colony here, and then up toward Hinton and Red Rock Canyon in Caddo County, Eakley as well, Sickles, Lukiba, and Eakley, and it is moving to the northeast at around 35 miles per hour. Let's take a broad view here if you're just joining us this afternoon. This is what we have going on right now, Max 2. And Max 2, PDS tornado watch for particularly dangerous situation. Now, so far, we've had a whole bunch of severe storms. A lot of hail has been dime, nickel, quarter, and golf ball. And then this storm, this lead storm's out ahead of all the rest of those. And that's the one that has the tornado warning on it right now. And that's the one that may affect the western sides of the Oklahoma City metro area. Here's the broad view. It's very unstable ahead of these storms. It's a lot of energy and fuel for them to keep going. So we do want you to stay forewarned. Our goal is nobody does not know there's an elevated risk of severe weather today. Rotation's picking up near Woodward right now. Corey Inman's on that. Rotation is picking up in the Leedy area right now. Mike Bennett's on that. And rotation's picking up southwest of Freedom. So you folks in Freedom, stay alert. This is the broad view here. These are all severe, but they're intensifying areas of rotation. So stay alert. The Sealing area, Taloga area, stay alert in the Sharon, Woodward, Moreland area. Stay very alert. Stay alert here in Waynoka for this cell west of Bouse Junction. Stay very alert, and stay alert in Freedom. That's a massive supercell up there that is developing more middle and lower level rotation. So these could produce tornadoes as we head through the next now to 30 minutes. They could produce tornadic activity. No tornado warnings right now, but the trend is definitely ramping up on these. Talking about Harper County, Woods County, Woodward County, Western Major County, and Dewey counties right now. And we'll be checking with our trackers on those coming up. They're severe right now. They could go tornadic as we head through the next 15 to 30 minutes. The trend on those is definitely up. Now, eastern side of Cordell, strong rotation there continues to intensify. Also rotation on the northern side of Lugert Lake, east of Willows. Pay attention there on that. Rocky and Sentinel, rotation rate coming up there a lot. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton here live on this storm. Emily?
Hi, Mike. Yes, we are going to turn right now so you can get a quick look. What we believe is the circulation. If there's a tornado in there, we are looking directly at it. Hold on, let Tooth spin it around and we can get around this sign here. We were slammed, Mike, with powerful winds earlier, and they were whipping from different directions. So there's definitely a huge circulation. If this tightens up, there's got to be a tornado in there, or a could tornado at any moment. A very large mezzo. It has a ton of rain around it, and likely some very large hail. We were definitely pinged by at least golf ball size hail.
Emily, appreciate that. So this rotation, as you can see, continues to increase. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. You see the motion here toward the West Metro. Big hail. Let's go to Mark Dillard now live on this. Mark, it looks like it could be tornadic at any time. It's got a very large rotation area with it. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Max 3 here. Let's go to Max 3, and let's take a close look at this storm right now. So the area of rotation, it's evolving, but it's a big area of spin. Big area of spin here. Corn Colony over toward Sickles and Eakley. This is Ouachita County, heading into Caddo County. It's the lead supercell, and it's traveling to the east-northeast at about 35 miles per hour. Let's broaden on out and hit the shear track on that, Damien. Hit the wind shear track on it, the mesocyclone intensity track. Let's take a look at how it's been kind of cycling up and cycling back down. And it's been coming out of Kiowa County here. Had some funnels there on the western sides of Hobart. And there's the mesocyclone track. There were the funnels that occurred, that little hot spot right there. And it's been ramping right back up again, southeast side of Cordell. Let's go back to Emily Sutton here. She's right on it with an update. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we are just east of Cordell. And there's definitely a rising tide, rapid motion into this storm. It does appear that it's ramping up. Earlier, the winds were so strong that we actually had some debris move across the road, wrapping rain bands earlier, powerful winds. And right now, we have a pretty clear view of what would be the base. Now, that being said, it has rain blowing out ahead of it. Lots of heavy rain, so it's kind of obstructing any view of any possible tornado. But there is a lot of rapid motion feeding up into the storm. So I definitely could see it strengthening. Mike? Oh, what's in front of us?
Emily, okay. Keep going. You've got a pretty impressive shot right there.
Yes. So now that we're getting a little bit closer, I'm starting to see a little bit of the base. Again, I can't see any tornado on the ground, but there's definitely a broad circulation around the whole thing. and I can see the inflow feeding into it. We're getting pretty close. There must be some very heavy rain pushing out in front of it, Mike. It looks like we're about to drive into it. You see the heavy rain bands. Where's the circulation at, Mike?
Right now, the circulation's on the southern side of 152, about 5 miles east-southeast of Cordell, but it's a really, really large circulation. And Emily, we can sure tell that from your pictures right here. Let's go back over to the storm tracker, and we're going to check in with Mark Dillard coming up next. So here's the metro right here, Canadian County, Oklahoma County. There's a PDS tornado watch for a particularly dangerous situation for all of the West Metro, all the way into western Oklahoma right now. And there's that center of circulation now just on the southern sides of 152, and you're talking about Corn, Cowden, Eakley, over through Sickles and Hydro and Lokiba and Red Rock Canyon and Hinton and Bridgeport and Niles and Cedar Lake. Cedar Lake there just to the southwest of El Reno at 4:50 this afternoon. That's the track right there. Yeah, new tornado warning going in effect. Yeah, for Dewey County. Yeah, let's go to Mike Bennett. Let's go to Max 3. We're going to go over into Dewey County here. Let's go to Max 3. So tornado warning here for Mike Bennett's storm now, and go ahead and switch there. And we're talking about this area in Dewey County. Rotation rate is picking up southwest of Sealing and just to the southwest of Tologa. Do you guys have Mike Bennett?
I've got it.
Let's go to Mike
Yeah,
Bennett here
Mike,
live. Go, Mike. Okay. Let's go ahead and go back over to intensity on that. Let's do a storm tracker projection on that, Damien. So the hook really is picking up now. This is a new tornado warning for Dewey County, and this is going to be for the Sealing area. Go ahead and kind of back out of that shot just a little bit there. And talking about the Sealing area and north and west of Tologa. So this is central Dewey County. Go ahead and back out a little bit more. There's Putnam there, and the Tologa area west and north of Putnam and Tologa, and it's tracking right on up here towards Sealing. Lenora here coming up, so up here in the river there east of Camargo there, the river. New tornado warning there. Mike Bennett, are you back with us? So Mike Bennett's tracking that storm right now. So that's a brand new tornado warning for Dewey County in northwestern Oklahoma. And let's go ahead and go back to the broad view here on Max 2. And here's this PDS tornado watch. You see all the storms are in western Oklahoma. There's a really big supercell down here to south of the Red River. It's turning hard right. That's trouble for Wichita Falls here coming up, and Burke Burnett, Texas. And then we have a bunch of storms out here in western Oklahoma, very unstable ahead of that line of storms. So tornado warning now for the Sealing area, Lenora in Dewey County. Tornado warning continues eastern side of Cordell for Corn and Colony, and it may lift. It could lift up into Weatherford. Would not be impossible. And Weatherford, you folks may have really huge hail. Could be 3 to 4 inches in diameter, and big time supercell southwest of Freedom right now. That's a potential tornado producer as well. You folks in Freedom, stay very alert. Very large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes are possible there. So for the Freedom area, stay alert there. Severe thunderstorm warning, but a large supercell with a big mesocyclone that is gradually starting to drop from mid-levels down toward the lower levels. Now here's west central Oklahoma. Here's this lead supercell just on the eastern side of Cordell, and activity down in southwestern Oklahoma is currently getting a bit of a break there. A lot of small hailstorms in through here. Some of these are producing bigger hail, and there is some rotation over the northern side of Altus Luger Lake right now. Let's go back to Emily Sutton near Corn and Colony right now. Emily?
Mike, where is the tightest area of circulation? Please tell me, because we have intermittent radar.
Okay, so let's go back over to Max 3 and check that out. Let's go over to Max 3 and check out the area of rotation. This is looking 152 here. So the rotation's large, and it's over 152, Emily, right now. And it's over 152, and it's on the southwestern sides of Corn, and it looks like it's tornadic right now. Looks like it is tornadic really right now. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. Tornado warning continues, Mark Dillard, 152 east side of Cordell. It keeps jumping to the east. What do you see?
Yeah, Mike, it's almost like it's turning pretty, drifting along 152. Now, may have a bit of a funnel there that continues to try to come out. Basically, what would be the back side of the wall there, but I cannot make it out completely. It's still pretty ragged up there, and a lot of rain wrapping around that front side. So my contrast is not very good right now. But again, folks, it doesn't take much to get going if it was able to get in the right kind of environment, which is the lead storm here. It may not take much to get something going. So still continue with a pretty broad section of rotation, Mike. On occasions, it'll tighten up pretty good, and you think it's almost imminent, and then it kind of blows out again. So, folks, to the
Okay, Mark Dillard, we're showing a tornado vortex here. Tornado vortex on this storm right now. Let's go to the storm tracker. Tornado vortex on that storm. It looks like it's on the ground. Weatherford, it could try to lift. It may try to lift as far north as Weatherford. The red line, center line, though, it looks like it's on the ground. Tornado vortex, Corn Colony, Weatherford Hydro, Red Rock Canyon, Hinton, Bridgeport, Niles, Gary, Greenfield, Calumet 507. Calumet, red line, center line, Calumet 507. That's west-northwest of El Reno. From there, Kingfisher and Piedmont, and potentially Edmond, talking about 530, 545 for the west and northwestern sides of Oklahoma City, Piedmont, Edmond. A little after 5 o'clock there. Looks like it's on the ground right now. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 3, showing a TVS there, Max 3. And it continues to very much be a tornado vortex signature here. You folks in Corn, this is serious. Interior closet or bathroom, you need to be in the safest place you know. There's a PDS tornado watch today, meaning particularly dangerous situation. So you got to think where the safest place to go in case these tornadoes reach violent strength. Tornado vortex signature there, 152 on the northern sides of Cordell. I think Emily's in the wraparound, rear flank downdraft, damaging wind and damaging hail. Emily Sutton, if you're still with us, let's go to you.
Right,
tornado now just to the north of 152. Go, Emily.
Yeah, see. Yeah, Mike, we're pretty much right on top of it. The winds are picking up at like 80 miles per hour. We're dropping south. We've seen debris go across the road. I actually think I saw the lowering, and the winds are really whipping around, and it's, wow, got to be at least 80 miles per hour plus winds, Mike. I think we have a developing tornado. Literally, it would be just north, maybe a quarter of a mile north of the highway here, and this is located just east of Cordell.
Okay, Emily, appreciate that. If you can, keep on going east. You'll probably have to go up to I-40 because that's where it is heading right now, up toward Interstate 40. Emily Sutton there reporting live. Let's go to the storm tracker. And on the storm tracker here, so we're talking about eastern Ouachita County. Also a tornado warning here. Do we have Mike Bennett back? If we do, we can go to him. Southwest of Sealing, update there. Say it again. Let's go to Mike Bennett here live. Dewey County tornado warning. Go, Mike.
Okay, Mike, my cell coverage is in and out here, but I'm in Putnam, just coming out of Putnam. We drove right underneath the mesocyclone between Putnam and Leedy just a few minutes ago. We've been on this storm for quite a while. We're just coming out of Putnam now here in about another 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to have a real good visual of it. I've got to deal with some traffic here. But right now, Mike, okay, we're getting a view of the rain-free base off to our northwest, and don't see a tornado on the ground. I do not see a tornado on the ground. We got a pretty good clear view of it. We've got the camera right on it, and no tornado on the ground, but it does look like it's got a wall cloud on it. The wall cloud is a relatively high base at the moment. But anyway, we're going to be closing gap on it here as it tracks towards Taloga and north of Taloga. We'll be closing gap on it here. Be right underneath it in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Okay, let's go over to Max 3 and show folks where this is up in Dewey County. So Dewey County here, we're going to go. That looks. You folks in Corn, really dangerous. Really, really dangerous for Corn. So let's just briefly, Damien, let's go up to Dewey County briefly. Okay, so here it is. There's the rotation there, east of Camargo, near Lenora, southwest of Sealing. Tornado warning due west of Taloga. So tornado precautions here for Sealing up through the Mutual area, southeastern Woodward County. Tornado precautions here. Now, let's go back down. Let's get back down here to Corn. Dangerous, dangerous situation for Corn. This is rapid tornado vortex circulation here, and it looks large. So Corn coming right over you. Ease out just a bit, Damien. Ease out. Ease out just a bit. Let's get Weatherford in it here. Here's Weatherford. This looks like a big tornado on the ground right here. Big tornado on the ground. Let's go to Mark Dillard here. Mark Dillard looks large. It's lifting more to the north-northeast. It looks like it's going to come right in or very, very close to Corn. You folks in Corn, imminent threat of a tornado in your immediate area. You got to go to your safe spot and do it right now. Go back to intensity. Let's safe spot right now for Corn. And it is trying to lift up to Weatherford. It's trying to lift up to Weatherford. Go, Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike, coming up to the 152 junction here now, going to head east. And what I can tell you is the rain is wrapping in on this circulation very rapidly. I'm almost been occluded from it. I'm looking off. I'm kind of on a high spot looking down, and occasionally I'll have lightning cooperate with me on the other side where I can see all the way through. But right now it's starting to really wrap in, Mike. So anybody in the path of this storm, I mean, Corn over toward Colony, you guys have got to get down right now, because it's coming your way. Maybe even if it hugs the road, Mike, even the Eakley area. So for sure, off toward Hinton, even as it progresses to the north and east. So folks, please heed our warnings and be vigilant and get to your tornado shelter or your safe place as soon as possible if you're in the path of this south of Weatherford. Back to you.
Okay, let's go to Aaron Brackett here live. Aaron, it's lifting to the north toward Weatherford, very, very close to Corn right now. What do you see?
Yeah, Mike, we're nearing Corn. We're on 152 heading off to the east. And, I saw what Mark was seeing just a second ago. I think we're a little bit ahead of him. It looks like a sort of a wedge that wasn't in contact with the ground. It was definitely some sort of a funnel. Whether or not there was dust stirring up with it or contact, I can't confirm that, but it looked like a wedge about ready to come down. It has since lifted up, but there's a lot of rotation here. This rotating wall cloud is really churning up. We're on 152, heading off to the east, almost to Lawrence here, near the Colony area. Folks, ahead of this, you got to take shelter right now. It's looking a lot stronger than it has really in the last 30 minutes, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that, Aaron Brackett. Let's go over to the storm tracker and show you where this is right now. So it looks tornadic, looks like it could be a large tornado. It's in the Corn area right now. Where is it heading? It's heading up to I-40 in northern Caddo County. That'd be the Red Rock Canyon, Hinton, Bridgeport, Hydro area. There is your time of arrival: Gary, Greenfield, Calumet, Omega, Concho, Lone Star. Lone Star Casino there in Canadian County. You see your timeline there. It's a red line, center line. It's trying to lift up into Weatherford, though. It's trying to lift up into Weatherford right now. Let's go back to Emily Sutton here with an update. Emily, what do you see? Let's go back over to Mark Dillard. Go, Mark. And the tornado circulation right now is centered 1.5 miles west-northwest of Corn. And it's strong rotation. 1.5 miles west-northwest of Corn is the center of that rotation right now, and it is a powerful circulation. Go, Aaron Brackett.
Yeah, Mike, we're getting ready to go north on Highway 54, going to be toward Colony. We're going to make the turn in just a second. A lot of scud coming into it. We can see road
out of Corn.
Ceiling. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to Max 3. Look at the rotation here on Max 3. So here's Corn right here, and it's just to the west-northwest of Corn. Back out so Weatherford's in that shot, Damien. Here's Weatherford right up here. Okay, so you see what it's doing here. It's lifting due northward. Okay, it's lifting due northward up toward Weatherford. So you folks in Weatherford, stay alert because it's lifting due north. The rotation up toward Weatherford. Now, let's go up to Dewey County, Tornado warning here. Let's go to Mike Bennett. Let's go to his stream west of Taloga, southwest of Sealing. Go, Mike Bennett.
Mike, had a brief touchdown. We had a tornado on the ground here a minute. We got a rapidly rotating wall cloud, multiple funnel clouds. I'm trying to find a spot here where I can pull up. We're kind of in and out of hills here. I'm trying to find a spot here where I can pull up and give you an unobstructed view of it. Right now, Sean's shooting out the side glass to give you the best shot we can. We're just north of Taloga, okay? But we definitely had a tornado on the ground here briefly. We've got a bold wall cloud and had a large funnel cloud form out of it just a couple of minutes ago. Then it ended up touching the ground, and it looks like it may have lifted. We got wrapping rain curtains. Okay, Mike, we got another funnel cloud developing. And Sean's telling me to sit back so you can hang on just a minute. I'm going to try to find a spot here. Okay, yeah, Mike, we got a good spot here. I'm going to pull off and give you an unobstructed view of this. Give me just 1 minute here, but the tornado is getting ready to come back down, Mike. Give me just a minute here, and we'll back down into the ditch. Okay. Rapidly rotating.
This is up in Dewey County, southwest of Sealing. So tornado precautions for you folks in Sealing. So intermittent touchdowns. Here's the tornado right here. Here's the tornado. Intermittent touchdowns here. Let's go to max 3 and take a look. So it's this circulation right here. It is tornadic. It is on the ground. West-northwest of Tologa, you folks in Sealing, tornado precautions. East of Mutual, tornado precautions there. So southwest of Sealing and southeast of Mutual. So intermittent touchdowns here. Tornado continues up in Dewey County. Go Mike Bennett.
Okay, yeah, Mike. Right now, I'll tell you what, it's a mess in there, and I think we've got a large circulation on the ground. Apparent circulation with a lot of wrapping rain curtains. There's just one small condensation funnel right in the middle of all of that. But right now, this thing is tracking right towards Lenora. It's going to track towards, probably going to maybe just barely miss Tologa to the north, but people in Tologa, take your tornado precautions. This thing could turn right. If this thing anchors, it's going to come right into town. Anybody living around Lenora, Sealing later on. Okay, we're starting to lose it behind some trees here, Mike. So I'm gonna reposition here. I'm gonna start driving paralleling again.
Okay, appreciate that, Mike Bennett. Let's go over to max 3 again. So the tornado has intermittently touched down. You see it right there. This is southwest of Sealing, very close to Lenora. So this is a hook continuing. So you folks in Sealing, storm projection there to the straight northeast there, Damien. The Sealing area, pay attention there. That is a tornado intermittently on the ground. Tornado warning is in effect. So the Sealing area, tornado precautions there. And then from there, talking about Lenora now, Sealing coming up at 4:34 or a little sooner than that, and then Bouse Junction. So for you folks in western sections of Major County and far southeastern Woodward County, tornado warning for you right now. Let's go ahead and go back down to this storm south of Weatherford now, approaching Interstate 40 with very, very large hail and a intermittent tornado. Now that weekend, it's going to cycle. This is going to cycle here. This is going to cycle. That tornado lifted up into the rain, go to intensity, and it looks like it is now basically either roping out or gone. Roping out here, roping out. It's going to probably cycle here right over the corn area. Go Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike. I'm looking at it to try to get out to Highway 58 off of 152 ahead of it. Still got a large wall cloud there, but I have nothing in contact with the ground. I can see completely underneath it.
Okay, appreciate that. Let's go ahead and go over to the North Doppler here and show you the circulation here, and it's still quite strong, and the tornado may be roping out right now. This is Colony right here. There's Weatherford. We're zoomed way in. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 due south of Weatherford is where that is right now. So it is roping out. Still a tornado warning in effect, but it looks like this may cycle. Still looks like there's a very, very small tornado, still a little bitty TVS right there on the highway, 9 miles due south of Weatherford. Let's go over to the storm tracker right now and take a little broader look at this. So tornado warning continues. So red line, center line for the near Weatherford, just to the south and east of Weatherford. It may be cycling and it may develop a new area of rotation. And that appears to be happening right now. That's going to be between Corn and Colony. Let's go back over to the North Doppler here and take a look at that. Between Corn and Colony. Here's Colony. So a little bitty area of circulation there. Could be a little rope still on the ground. 9 miles due south of Weatherford. And the beam will come back around live here momentarily. So there's Colony right there. So to the northwest of Colony, but it looks like a cycle is going to be developing likely here in eastern sections of Ouachita County. And you folks in southeastern Custer County, very close to Weatherford, just to the south and east of Weatherford, you folks stay very, very alert. This has produced a tornado on the ground. and there is still some substantial circulation located in that storm as it tries to lift on up toward Weatherford. Let's go over to the velocities on Max 3 and show you on Max 3 what we have going on. There it is right there. So there's Corn, due north of Corn, northwest of Colony, and south of Weatherford. Let's look at the hail sizes on that, Damien. Let's check out the hail and how big this hail is now coming into Weatherford and I-40. And you're looking at about 2 to 2.5 inch diameter hail with that. So about tennis ball size in the hail core there. Just to the south side of Weatherford, you see the motion of the hail, and that's going to continue to track to the northeast toward Hydro, Bridgeport, Weatherford, large hail. You see the tornado warning in effect right there. So big hail just on the southern sides of Weatherford. Go back to intensities here, and let's check that out on the intensity. So still an area of rotation there coming up on Weatherford right now. So that's going to be tracking up to the northeast. So northeastern sections of Ouachita County, southeastern Custer County, stay alert, be prepared to go to your safe spot away from windows, interior closet, or bathroom. Let's go back over to our team of trackers. Start off with Mark Dillard. Mark?
Yes, Mike, we're going to try to reposition ahead of it and get the hydro so we can watch it come across the I-40 corridor. I believe Emily and Aaron are back at Colony and Corn and may have a little better shot of it, Mike. I can still see underneath it behind me. I don't have a funnel, but I can see the hail core just to the north side there. Back to you.
Corey Inman, tornado warning for Woodward and Woods in northwestern Oklahoma. And Corey, let's take a look at his stream. Yep. Okay, so tornado warning for Woods and Woodward right now. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 3 and take a look at that. So this is going to be this area we're talking about west of Freedom. Big area of rotation, really wrapping up here. So this is a tornado warning, the Freedom area. So Freedom along the river, west and north of Freedom, looks like a large, vigorous circulation, strong circulation there. Far northern Woodward County, way north of Woodward and Moreland, and up into Woods County. That is a tornado warning. We're in a little bit of sparse cell phone coverage up there, but Corey Inman is on that storm. Now let's go back down to Dewey County. Let's go back to Corey's shot here. Stay there, Damien. Let's go back to Corey Inman's stream. So, Corey, you with us there? Tornado warning west of Freedom right now.
Yeah, Mike, I'm here. We're trying to get north here towards Freedom. The area of rotation is just off to our east. There's not anything on the ground, Mike. The storm is trying to recycle. The lowering continues to get bigger and bigger as it tracks up towards Freedom. Trying to dodge chasing the purchase here and get out of the rain. Don't see anything on the ground at this time. We're going to get up here and get east.
We're going to come back to you when your shot clears up there just a little bit. This is northwestern Oklahoma. Tornado warning for the Freedom area. Let's go back over to Max 3, and the rotation really is ramping up very, very quickly. And it looks like a tornado vortex there forming right about now. So it's almost lifting due northward, so it should stay to the west of Freedom right now, up into Woods County. So reasonably sparse ranch lands up here, grasslands up here in northwestern Oklahoma, northern Woodward County and western Woods County. That is a tornado warning for you, and that's going to be in effect here as it heads on up into Woods County. So let's go ahead and go from that one. Let's go to intensity and look at the hook there forming. We talked about this storm a short while ago, and the intensities there. Go to the single radar site there. The intensity is now really ramping up with that really, really big hail on the western side of Freedom. So tornado warning there. Let's go ahead and travel on down here, down toward Woodward and Waynoka. So there are severe thunderstorms in progress near Waynoka, back up, near Waynoka right now.
They're going to reissue a tornado warning for Corn.
Yep, back up. Okay, so a hook there starting to form. Zoom into this. Right here, Waynoka. Looks like a hook forming here. Let's go to velocity. Go to velocity on this right here. Go up, pan up, get Waynoka in it. Yeah, right here. Okay, so come over. Get Waynoka in it. Okay, see, rotation here really picking up fast right now. This could go tornadic for you folks in Waynoka. We're covering the whole state here. This could go tornadic really, really fast. Really fast. You folks in Waynoka, and I'll say it several times because folks, are doing different things and such. You folks in Waynoka, be prepared to go to your safe spot. Interior closet or bathroom, storm cellar or basement or below ground would be best, or a safe room. A lot of folks up here have tornado shelters. Do that because that rotation is coming up very, very quickly. It doesn't have a tornado warning right now, but I can tell you, go back to intensity on that. The rotation is coming up extremely fast southwest of Waynoka, and there's nothing feeding into it, and a hook is forming right now. So Waynoka, right now, currently no official tornado warning. The trend is up, though, very, very fast. This could produce tornadoes on very, very short notice, and that is heading directly for you folks in Waynoka in northwestern Oklahoma. Let's come on back down to Dewey County. Let's look at the ceiling storm, tornado warning for Dewey County. So the rotation here is kind of elongated, a little bit more of a line there rather than a spin. Still, the tornado warning could be a little pockets of small tornadic activity, especially south of Mutual, quite a ways to the west-southwest of Ceiling here. It should try to go on the west side of Ceiling, although it looks like it might be trying to cycle here on the eastern side. Go to intensity for me on that. Go to intensity here, and boy, there's nothing feeding into it, though. This could be a tornado producer again still at any time. There's nothing feeding into it. Single cell, so you folks in Ceiling, stay in your tornado safe spot and along Northwest Passage as well. Back down to Corn and Colony, and tornado warning continues here. Come on up here to Weatherford, and let's get Weatherford in that shot. Kind of an elongated area. Yep, that's good. Okay, so that still is an area of potentially tornadic circulation there. Let's go over to the North Doppler and take a look at the live velocities here on it. So there's Weatherford right there. Strongest spin there is now starting to cross the county line south of Weatherford by 4 miles. So you folks in Weatherford stay really, really alert. And there's areas also of rotation here northwest of Colony that has that's pretty strong here as well. So 2 areas of rotation. Let's go back to our team of trackers. If we have Emily Sutton, let's go to her now live. This is going to be around Weatherford with an ongoing tornado warning up here by Corn. Say it again. You have Emily. Go, Emily.
Yeah, Mike, we are located just southeast of Colony, heading north to meet up with it. I'll tell you what, Mike, this thing has a history of cycling. The hail wasn't as large as we were in Cordell earlier, and then all of a sudden, as the circulation tightened up, the winds wrapped up, and I am pretty sure, Mike, that was a tornado east of Cordell. That was a tornado. It crossed the road. It continued with bands of rain circling around. And then I think it weakened again. And then we can see the base, like all the other trackers were saying, didn't see anything lowering. So that is in the tendency of these storms. So I would say Weatherford, get ready for very large hail and be prepared to seek shelter for a tornado, as this storm has a history of reproducing tight rotation, and it could drop a tornado at any moment. Mike?
Appreciate that very, very much. Let's go over to Mark Dillard now live, also tracking this storm. This is for you folks in Weatherford, and you folks in Weatherford, dangerous storm here. Significant rotation continues, tornado warning, the Corn Colony area lifting to the north toward Weatherford. Go, Mark.
Yes, Mike, just leaving Eakley at Highway 58, 152, heading north, going to intercept I-40 at Hydro, and off to my, now it may have a funnel on it, very, very faint, off to our north, and west from my location, Mike, more west than north. Looks like I may have a funnel forming, kind of low contrast right now, but I may have a funnel. And then off just to the north of that feature, I've got another kind of a bowl lowering there. So folks off into the west of Hydro, the I-40 corridor at Weatherford, in between there, you guys want to stay weather aware here. We got a funnel. Yeah. Mike, I'm going to pull over up here. Got a funnel forming halfway down. It's going to be west of me, and I am about 5 north of 152. It's going to be between me and Weatherford there. And also may have something bigger off to my north there, Mike, at the real base of a larger wall cloud.
Robert Moose.
Let me try to get up to I-40 here and get a little better contrast. But may even be coming all the way down to the ground. Kevin Cosby's on the camera over here, and he's looking at it like I am, and we may think, in fact, we think something's halfway down the ground there, Mike, and my inflow has picked up. It's the highest it's been all day, even with that tornado down in the Duke area. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, how far from Weatherford are you right now? How far away from Weatherford are you?
Well, I'm about 6 north of Eakley. I'm south of Hydro, so that's going to be about 8 or 10 south and east of Weatherford proper.
Okay, you folks in Weatherford, it looks like there's a tornado vortex signature there 2 miles south of town right now. Looks like 2 south of Weatherford right now. Tornado vortex signature. Here's Mike Bennett. This is up in the Sealing area. Go, Mike Bennett. Looks like intermittent touchdowns continue west of Sealing. That is a live view of a different storm. This is up in Dewey County here, and that is a tornado now on west of Sealing and south of Mutual. So tornado here. Tornado here. Here are the wind farms up there by the Northwest Passage. This is Mike Bennett here looking at his stream live. This is for you folks around Lenora up toward Mutual and Sealing. West of Sealing, tornado continues intermittently on the ground. A well-defined funnel, easily could be on the ground. It's more than halfway down. Looks like it's a very tight area rotation, likely a tornado on the ground right now from Mike Bennett. This is west of Sealing. When we get Bennett, let us know. We'll go to him. In the meantime, let's go ahead and go back over to the broad view. And this is, again, west of Sealing. So there's a rotation there on the highway between Visay and Sealing right now. Highway 51. So it's going to be traveling out of Dewey County up into far southeastern sections of Woodward County. And then from there into western Major County. That is a tornado on the ground right now, about 5 miles west of Sealing. Do we have Mike Bennett? Let's go back to his stream here. Okay. Yeah, we'll let it clean up here a little bit. Also, for you folks in Weatherford, I got to tell you, there is a tornado, it looks like, just south of Weatherford right now. So there's Bennett's stream. This is just west of Sealing. And I need to really, let's go to Mike Bennett live. Mike, quickly.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, tornado on the ground. I mean, it's halfway down now. It was on the ground just a couple seconds ago. Okay. Yeah, we're still seeing intermittent swirls on the ground. It's going to be just about 2 miles west of Sealing, possibly 3 miles west of Sealing, getting ready to cross Highway 51. Back to you.
Okay, so it's literally right over Highway 51 right now, about 3.5 to 4 miles, almost 5 miles, due west of Sealing. This is Sealing up in northwestern Oklahoma. Tornado intermittently on the ground, well-developed funnel cloud with rapid rotation in it. So this will be an intermittent tornado producer. It's been kind of bumping up and down on the ground here for a while. It is now an amazing view from there. Can we split screen this, guys? Let's split screen this. If you can, put the North Doppler in the other split. We got to talk about Weatherford here because it's a dangerous situation around Weatherford right now. So tornado on the ground here up by Sealing. This is up by Sealing right now. And let's, if you want to just do the 3-box and leave that in the 3-box over here on the side, feel free. Let's go ahead and kind of squeeze these back and get these multiple sources going because we have multiple tornadoes on the ground right now. So here's our live streamers here, and here's the view from Mike Bennett. Looks like the funnel cloud has lifted now just on the west-northwestern sides of Sealing. Mike Bennett, quickly, has it lifted currently?
Yeah, Mike. It looks like it's lifted. We still have a condensation funnel about halfway down. It's kind of a little bit of a mess right now, but we've got rapid rotation. This storm is not done by far. It's going to track up probably, I believe Sealing's going to be okay, but it's possibly going to track up towards Chester. Could be under the gun on this. We're going to get ready after I get back to the highway and get it repositioned. It's pulling away from us.
Mike Bennett, appreciate that. Let's go back over to Weatherford here. Let's go to the storm tracker. Looks like a continued tornado on the ground, southeastern side of Weatherford right now. And it's tracking up from Weatherford up toward Gary and Greenfield, I-40. It's approaching I-40 right now, just on the southern sides of I-40. Hydro, Greenfield, Watonga, Roman Nose. Tornado conditions, or at least very severe weather conditions, affecting this area ahead of it into Blaine County. Let's go over to the North Doppler, take a look. We're going to Mark Dillard here next. The tornado circulation now is literally on the southeastern edge of Weatherford right now, showing a tornado vortex signature right here. Let's go back over to Max 3 and show you that area of spin. There's the one up here. Also, this has a tornado warning on it northwest of Freedom. Damien, come on down. Come on down. There's the one west of Sealing. That tornado just lifted. Come on down. So multiple tornado warnings here. This is Weatherford right here. Mark Dillard, go. What do you have?
Yes, Mike. Still, if you can see it in the stream there, it's just a huge area of circulation. Really front end. I cannot see up underneath it. That's hydro. It's just off to my west, Mike. I'm going to have to get up underneath it so I can see it. But folks have heard hydro over by the
Okay, let's go ahead and pot down his audio. Notice this is a really large mesocyclone here. Really, really big, really tightly spinning mesocyclone here. Southeastern sides, eastern side of Weatherford is on I-40 right now. Mobile homes will not be safe, and cars in tornadoes will not be safe. Want to emphasize this on Interstate 40. Let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker. And storm tracker here, southeast side of Weatherford right now. Hydro up to Greenfield and Watonga right there. Hydro, Greenfield, Watonga, Roman Nose, and Altoona and Buckner there. So the southeastern sides of Weatherford right now. Let's go back over to Emily Sutton if we have Emily. She's been on this storm. Let's go ahead and go to her stream. Let's take a look at Emily's stream right now. Okay, let's go back to Mark Dillard here live. Mark, what do you have?
Okay. Yeah, Mike, still continue with that very, very broad circulation area. And then I can kind of see down into it. It almost looks like the wall may be almost all the way down to the ground, that bowl feature. Very, very serious, folks. Weatherford, tornado precautions, even north of Weatherford on the eastern side between Hydro and Weatherford, tornado precautions for sure. Mike, I'm going to be at I-40 in just a second and turn back to the west and have a better angle at it. Back to you.
Okay, also a serious situation down near Cordell. Okay, so this is likely continuing tornadic. There's a tornado in here. It's on the southeastern side of Weatherford right now. Strong, rapid circulation in a big mesocyclone. Big mesocyclone, strong, rapid circulation. Likely there are intermittent touchdowns down here on the southeastern side of Weatherford, eastern sides of Weatherford. Dangerous situation here. Bridgeport, Hydro, up into Blaine County, Gary and Greenfield right now. Vigorous mesocyclone, likely ongoing touchdowns. I show a TVS here on radar, tornado vortex signature. It's likely, at least intermittently on the ground, there could be a tornado easily back in that haze that you see, and that's now crossing I-40 right now. Let's go back over to Max 3 and take a look at this particular storm right now. And here's the Cordell storm. John Slater is on this, and this is a heads up for you folks in Cordell. This is Cordell back down to Ouachita County. Rapid area of rotation here, really ramping up fast. So you folks in Cordell, tornadoes could be possible at any moment. There is a tornado warning on it now for you folks in Cordell, Oklahoma, and rotation really coming up fast southwest of Cordell. Tornado warning in effect for Cordell. This is back behind the Weatherford storm. Let's go back up to the Weatherford storm, and here's this strong rotation. Eastern side of Weatherford, I-40. Automobiles will be dangerous as this crosses I-40. Hydro area up toward Gary and Greenfield and Blaine County. Still a strong indication of a tornado, could be large on the eastern side and right over very close to Weatherford right now. Let's go back to Mark Dillard and take a look at his stream here live. And here's Mark Dillard's stream with an update. Mark, what do you have?
Yes, I continue with that very, very broad rotation area. I can't see quite up underneath it. It's wrapping up in rain. Very, very dangerous, folks. Much like we saw out at Elk City the other day, it's really a ground hurricane as the circulation wraps in and has a huge amount of rain wrapping in with it, and you just basically can't see it. So it could be on top of you, and you wouldn't even know it until it's doing damage. So we urge folks from Weatherford to Hydro, areas just to the north and along the I-40 corridor, take your tornado precautions right now. Mike, I still have strong inflow coming up to I-40, but I'm going to be occluded by heavy rain as this thing continues to drift along the I-40 corridor. Back to you.
Mark, appreciate that. Indications of what looks like a large tornado on the ground on I-40, showing a really vigorous mesocyclone with a strong TVS. It looks like a large tornado is what it looks like right now. Let's go over to the North Doppler radar, take a look at that. And it's going to be here on the eastern side of Weatherford, right here on I-40 right now. That is a vigorous, large circulation. It's going to be 2 to 4 miles due east of Weatherford. Emily Sutton is there right now. Let's go to Emily here live. Go to Max 3. Go, Emily.
Yeah, Mike, we are located just southwest pretty much of the circulation, and we are looking off to our northwest at the storm. It's going to be very challenging to see because of the haze, and, there easily could be a tornado in there right now. I'm pretty convinced there was a tornado earlier weekend, and now it's strengthened back up again. So anyone in Weatherford and in the path of this storm, you need to treat it like there is a tornado on the ground. We're trying to get we have a view of it right now on our screen of the lowering. But in terms of seeing a tornado on the ground, I'm not seeing it yet. I'm trying to look very closely, Mike, through the hands to see if I see any tornado on the ground. It easily could be. All I'm seeing is a large black mass in the distance. We have known before could be a large tornado.
Okay.
It's just I can't see any definition on the sides as of right now.
Okay, appreciate that, Emily. Whose stream is this right here?
That one is, that's Bennett.
Okay, let's go to Mike Bennett for an update for the Sealing area. Again, this looks really, really dangerous for you folks on the eastern side of Weatherford. It looks really dangerous. Mike Bennett, quick update from the Sealing area. Earlier tornado, what do you have right now?
Mike, the tornado is lifted. We got a rapidly rotating wall cloud. We're going to, we got to get to a highway going up to Chester where we can stay on the right side of it. But no tornado on the ground right now. It did pass to the west of Sealing.
Okay, there it is, northwest of Sealing right now. Let's go back over to the Weatherford storm. And it looks like a large tornado on the ground. If it isn't, it's intermittent areas of smaller tornadoes inside a really vigorous mesocyclone. But it looks like a large tornado on the ground crossing Interstate 40 right now. East side of Weatherford, very close to Weatherford. Hydro, you folks in Hydro, immediate tornado precautions right now. Very dangerous. You folks in Weatherford should be in your tornado safe spot. Storm cellar, we prefer storm cellars or basements or safe rooms today. This looks like a large tornado on the ground over Weatherford, east side of Weatherford, approaching Hydro right now. Mark Dillard, go. Mark Dillard, go.
Yes, Mike. I'm at Hydro and I-40, just on the south side of the highway. I don't have total contact with the ground, but I may have intermittent funnels there. It still looks a little bit broad to me, but I do have a lot of lifting scud, and the inflow has picked up immensely several times as we've gotten up here to Hydro at I-40. But I do not have a classic funnel or anything that's just totally over concerning me right now as far as imminent tornado. But it does continue to advance here and have fingers that will come down, and it could possibly do it really fast and not be able to see it for very long. So, and including wrapped up in rain. So folks in Hydro, take your immediate tornado precautions. But Mike, I cannot make it out back there. May even be over just past. Just hang on, Mike.
Let's be perfectly clear here. Let's be perfectly clear. There's a big tornado in this to the east side of Weatherford right now. And let's go over to Max 3. And it is a large tornado inside of this. Very, very vigorous and very large rotation with a tornado vortex signature inside of this. So you folks in Hydro, you should be in your safe spot. We prefer basements, storm cellars, or safe rooms. Here, western side of Hydro, eastern side of Weatherford, it looks very much like a large tornado is inside of this right now. It's traveling up into Blaine County. Let's go to the storm tracker. There's also damage in Cordell, the Cordell area. Supercell tornado warning hook there. So there's damage in the Cordell area. Folks in Cordell should be in your safe spot. Prefer basement, storm cellar on days like this, interior closet or bathroom, but the very safest place that you know, storm cellar, basement, safe room, Cordell, and then also storm cellar, basement, safe room, Hydro. So two big supercells. These are both tornadic in nature. This one looks like it has a large tornado on the ground coming into Hydro. Right now, central and eastern sides of Weatherford coming into Hydro. Let's take this middle screen right here. Let's take this middle screen, and tell me who this is right here, this middle screen.
That's Aaron and Kevin.
Okay, let's go to Aaron Brackett's stream here. Do we have Aaron on the Gentner? Aaron?
Yeah, Mike, I'm here.
What do you have right now?
All right, Mike, we're about 4 or 5 miles directly south of Hydro, and a lot of motion. I got to tell you, the storm mode has changed a little bit. It's more of an HP, high precipitation supercell mode than if you were watching us right after the 2 o'clock hour near Altus, where it was a clearly visible tornado. This is not going to be clearly visible. It's a wall of water. It's a wall of hail, and as you said, it's heading right for Hydro. Everyone in Hydro needs to get into their most secure location right now. What I can see is a lot of upward velocity, a lot of upward motion, but just a wall of water. And inside, there's got to be something in there. The whole thing is kind of rotating very vigorously. So we're still looking real hard to try to find anything. I'm not going to get right in it or out in front of it, but we're going to try to see if we can see anything. It's got to be in that rain, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that. So we do have 2 supercells here approaching central Oklahoma. And let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker and take a look. And this one quite possibly here on the east side of Weatherford, hydro area. Large tornado could very much be on the ground with that. Really big, really strong circulation. Areas inside of that show tornado. And then also damage around spot. Let's go to intensity on max 3 there, Damien. So this one's, here's the Weatherford rotation. Right here. So west and northwest of hydro right now, lifting into Blaine County. Let's go back down to Cordell. So right now, this one, let's go to the velocity on that. And this one has a strong rotation here that's very, very tight. So this looks like tornado in the immediate Cordell area right now. You folks in Cordell need to be in your safe spot. We prefer storm cellars or basements today, safe rooms. This looks very much like tornado in the immediate area of Cordell right now. Tornado warning in effect. Let's go back to the intensities on that. So your safe spot right now all around Cordell. And then this area also up here to the northeast. And the motion here is to the east-northeast and to the northeast of both of these storms. Let's go back over to either Emily or Mark Dillard, get an update on the Weatherford storm right now. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we are about 5 miles east of Weatherford and about 1 or 2 miles south of I-40. We have a clear view of the rotating storm, and I agree with you. I think hidden behind the rain bands easily could be a large tornado. I do not have a clear view of it, but yeah, the entire storm is rotating like a top. And earlier, it cycles, had wrapping rain bands. And we've had some very strong inflow into this storm. So anyone in the path of the storm, I'm really worried about I-40. Obviously, anybody traveling, we urge you to not be out on the roads right now if you're anywhere near these severe or tornadic storms. You are not going to be able to see this tornado, at least from the southern and eastern sides. So don't try to go out and look at it, guys. Immediately seek shelter if you are under this tornado warning, as there could be a very dangerous large tornado heading within the bands. Mike?
Okay, let's go to max 2 here. So we have a tornado back on the ground northwest of Sealing. Let's go to max 2. So northwest of Sealing, north of Sealing, tornado there. Likely tornado now, could be quite large north of Hydro, heading up toward Gary and Greenfield, Blaine County. Tornado in the Cordell area right now with damage being reported. So let's go over to Mike Bennett here. Tornado on the ground north of Sealing right now. Go, Mike Bennett.
Mike, large, violent tornado northwest of Chester. North of Chester is going to be just not very far west, about a mile and a half west of, I'm not sure what highway this is, going south out of Chester, going north. Okay, we're going to multiple vortex, large multiple vortex. We've seen, there's a lot of violent motion in this. Sean, believe you saw some debris a few minutes ago, so we don't know if something got hit. It's right now, it's in open country, unless you live in that area. But there's no towns in the path of it. We're kind of in and out of some trees here. If I can find a spot here, because we're actually, if this thing turns right, we're going to be in a bad spot. But it's directly to our left. And if I can find a spot here, I'm going to stop and give you a good shot of it. But right now, there's the terrain is not allowing us to see ground level, so we can put the camera on it. Hang on just a minute.
Okay, you're looking at a large tornado up here by Chester, Oklahoma. This is up in northwestern Oklahoma right now. Immediate tornado precautions. This is around Bouse Junction and Chester up here in western Major County. Large multi-vortex tornado on the ground right now up in western Major County. Let's go ahead and go over to max 3 and look at the rotation on that. And this is going to be right here to the east of Mutual. There's the tornado right there near Bouse Junction. Bouse Junction up here on 412. So it's heading up toward 412 and Bouse Junction. Let's kind of ease out of this shot here, Damien, a little bit, and up toward Bouse Junction up there on 412. Tornado precautions right now. That is a continued tornado, large multi-vortex, lifting north-northeast. The rotation has passed Waynoka, fortunately, without any tornadic activity, but there's another one coming up from the south. in western sections of Major County, and that circulation near Waynoka. Go to intensity there. Go to intensity, and let's take a look at how these look here on the intensity side of it. And still this hook here with the tornado just south of Bouse Junction, and still a hook northeast of Waynoka, but circulation not tight enough for a tornado, at least not right now. And also circulation now north of Freedom, lifting up into western sections of Woods County. Very large hail, damaging winds, could be baseball-sized hail or larger. And we have a tornado on the ground near Bouse Junction. Let's go back to Mike Bennett's stream and take a look at that tornado there south of Bouse Junction right now. Mike Bennett, quick update. What do you have?
Okay, Mike. Yeah, tornado's still on the ground. Our view's obscured by trees. I mean, I can see the top half of it. It's on the ground. It's violent motion. We actually have a caller starting to wrap around it. So anyway, directly, it's going to be about 4 miles north of Chester and about a mile west of this highway. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. Still showing a significant tornado in the Hydro area right now in coming into Blaine County, and it looks like a potentially large tornado, likely wrapped in rain right around Hydro. So let's go ahead and go back to intensity on that, Damien. So there's the tornado. You just saw that live from Mike Bennett, south of Bouse Junction there in far western Major County, far eastern Woodward County. Tornado warning continues there, lifting to the northeast. Now let's head on down here as we head on down toward I-40. This is going to be in the Weatherford area. Hydro, strong indications here of a large tornado in the Hydro area currently. Let's go ahead and also the Cordell area. Strong indications continue of a tornado there to the east-northeast of Cordell. So let's go ahead and show you the velocities on these and the wind velocities here. Still strong indications there of a tornado northeast now of Cordell. Northeast of Cordell. And let's head on up here toward Hydro. Northeast side of Weatherford there. Still a strong indication there also of a tornado on the ground, very close to Hydro, and the eastern and northeastern sides of Weatherford. Northeast side of Weatherford looks like there may even be potentially even more than one tornado on the ground inside of that one big parent circulation right now. Very low, very difficult to see. Go to intensity, Damien. Very difficult to see there coming into Blaine County right now. High precipitation supercell. Let's look at the hail sizes on these. Really large hail. And earlier we had some 4-inch diameter hail with these. And right now we're showing some golf balls and 2-inch diameter hail. So golf balls and tennis balls with both of these, and especially that Cordell storm. Very much tornado warning continues with that. And it just passed Cordell, heading back to Corn and Colony is where that tornadic circulation is heading back to intensity right now. Down here in Ouachita County. See folks in Corn, back into your tornado safe zone here, away from windows. Prefer storm cellars or basements today. We have a bit of an outbreak of tornadoes now developing in Oklahoma. Looks like we've had quite a few so far. Is that Mike Bennett's stream? Can we go back to Mike Bennett? Let's take a look at Mike Bennett's stream, and it looks like back on the ground here. Mike Bennett, go near Bouse Junction. What do you have?
Yeah, Mike, it's never lifted. It's getting ready to cross, though. We're only about probably a half mile to the southwest of it. It is not quite as violent as it was on the ground, but it's plenty violent. It's getting ready. It's going to cross Highway 281 right in front of us here, and it just got disconnected. Connect me.
Yeah, big tornado continues on the ground. Look at this. There's some violent motion in here. This is heading for Bouse Junction. There's some violent motion in here. Look at the motion. It's a multi-vortex. Looks to be going to a potentially violent tornado. You're looking at it live right here. This is a very dangerous situation. 412 around Bouse Junction. Not too far from Chester. Multi-vortex. Looks like it could be going to a violent tornado, and it continues on the ground. It has never lifted this whole time. Multi-vortex in structure. Mike Bennett, looks like it is going to a violent tornado in nature. What do you have?
Yeah, Mike, it's a strong tornado, no question about that. We've got I'm going to say, Mike, the circulation on the ground is probably 100 yards wide right now where it's at, but it's violent rotation on the ground at the ground level. And it's going to cross the highway right in front of us here. You're going to have a great shot of it here in just a minute. We're just going to kind of hold their position right here. And I was watching to my west here. I thought we had a satellite possibly. In fact, I may have a satellite trying to form just to my west. So we got to keep an eye on that as well while we're watching the parent circulation. But it's getting ready to cross Highway 281. Highway north of Chester, between Chester and Winoka. It's getting ready to cross here in about 30 seconds. Here it comes. It's probably going to take these power lines down. We have seen occasional debris in the tornado, and it looks like it may be starting to weaken just a little bit as it approaches the highway here. The rotation is still violent, but it is not as large as it was, it's even starting to elephant trunk out just a little bit.
So, Mike Bennett, it's about to cross the road here in front of you. This is now live. We have a developing tornado outbreak going on in Oklahoma right now. There have been quite a few tornadoes, and they're ramping up. There's been tornadoes around Cordell. There's been tornadoes around Weatherford, and this is potentially a violent tornado. There's rapid motion in this in the mesocyclone and in the tornado vortex. It's been multi-vortex at times. No signs of it lifting. It's about to cross the highway here, very close to Mike Bennett, Bouse Junction area. Mike Bennett, exactly your location right now, the direction you're looking.
Okay, well, Mike, we're looking straight north. It just the highway's actually going to kind of take a little turn here to the left or right, but it's
okay. Appreciate that. Still indicates a tornado on the ground southwest of Greenfield, also southwest of Greenfield, and also northeast of Cordell. And southwest of Corn, indications of tornadoes on the ground there as well right now. This is up by Bouse Junction in northwestern Oklahoma, and it's going through the rope stage here. It was multi-vortex and larger earlier. Still really strong rotation with that roping. It's roping out right now up there this is northwestern Oklahoma, to the north of Sealing, to the west of Fairview, east of Moreland, near Bouse Junction and Highway 412. Mike Bennett, go. Okay, we're watching his live stream here. Let's go ahead and go back over to, if you want to split screen this, let's put Max 3 in. Let's take a look at where this is. And this is going to be up here by Bouse Junction. There's the tornado vortex signature there. Waynoka, you folks stay alert. It is heading directly for Waynoka. You're under a tornado warning right now. So it's lifting due northward up toward Waynoka currently. And it's approaching the Bouse Junction area on Highway 412. That's the velocity that Mike Bennett just showed you. Let's go ahead and go back to put that in intensity, and let's show you let's go to the broad view here, give you a broad view on 2. Let's go to the broad view on 2. So we have tornadic supercells here, northwestern Oklahoma, west central Oklahoma, down to Cordell, other supercells approaching the Wichita Falls area with tornadoes there as well. Also this rotation southwest of Alva. If we have Corey Inman, he may well be on that area. Looks very, very ominous here for Alva. So you folks in Alva, tornado precautions right now. It looks very much tornadic right now. Tornado warning in effect. Tornado there in the Bouse Junction area. So that is heading directly for Alva. You folks in Alva, Oklahoma, tornado precautions right now. Tornado warning is in effect for you. And here's the hook with the tornado near Bouse Junction. That tornado may or may not have just lifted. And we have a hook with a strong indication of a large tornado wrapped in rain just north of Hinton, just northeast of Weatherford, and another tornado northeast of Cordell and west of Corn and Colony right now. Let's go back over to Max 3 and look at the velocities here on the tornado near Bouse Junction. Let's go up to Alva here and check out Alva and look at the rotation here. You folks in Alva, this is serious for you. Alva, Woods County, go up north, going up north there. This is serious for you up in Alva. This was the earlier cell that went over Waynoka, but it is now wrapping up and heading directly into Alva. So you folks in Alva, immediate tornado precautions right now. So this looks tornadic coming directly into Alva. You should be in your storm cellar or basement, away from windows, safe room if you can. These tornadoes today could be violent. So into Alva here, Woods County, safe spot, the very safest place you know. Do that right now. Let's go on down to Weatherford. Let's go on down to the Weatherford rotation. And here's this strong circulation, very strong, looks quite violent, north of Hydro right now. Let's go to Aaron Brackett here live. Aaron?
Mike just had a funnel just a little bit ago, 3 south of Hydro. There's a little area of rotation. Just had a funnel. It was momentary. Didn't touch down, but it was rotating very, very fast. It was about a third of the way to the ground, rotating very fast. That would be 3 directly south of Hydro, kind of located, there's a little area of spin right there, right in this kind of line of storms. Didn't touch down, but this area is still spinning real fast, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that, Aaron Brackett. Let's go back over to the storm tracker, guys. and we've got multiple tornadoes here on the ground right now. You folks in Corn and Colony, immediate tornado precautions for you as well. This is going to be down in Ouachita County, so over toward Corn and Colony. And then we have this area also by Gary and Greenfield. So these are both tornadic, both tornado warnings right now. Gary, Greenfield, you folks, tornado precautions there, Blaine County. And then the southern storm here, Corn Colony here, Colony by 456, and Sickles by 519, Lokiba by 527, Binger by 528, Red Rock Canyon and Bridgeport by 530. That would be I-40, a little ways west of El Reno there. That one is heading right for Canadian County here a little bit later on. Tornado precautions with both of these, very much so. Let's go back over. You said we had, do we have Mike Bennett? Let's go to Mike Bennett here. Go to Max 3. Go to Mike Bennett. Mike, an update on that tornado at Bouse Junction.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, the first tornado dissipated. We've got a new area of rapid rotation just to the left of the highway. I believe it's getting ready to tornado again. We drove through the damage path of where the first tornado crossed. Not a lot there. Okay, power lines are still up. Definite smell of cedar. Okay, as it went through the trees, it did some damage through some of the cedar trees. But this get ready to tornado again, Mike. Just right here, we've got the camera right on it. I'm gonna pull off here where we can. Just give me a second. I'm gonna pull off here where you can observe it without any motion from a chase vehicle. But this get ready to tornado again. Got strong inflow into it, and rapid rotating wall cloud. The wall cloud's really low to the ground right here. So we're getting ready to have, yeah, Mike, we got a tornado. We just got hit. Had a tornado come right through us. We just had a vortex just pass right over us. And, yeah, we're going to try to get the camera on the vortex. But, we just got hit by, there it is right there. It just hit the farm pond. A little bit of a spray coming off that pond. And so we're right underneath the mesocyclone, but it's getting ready to tornado again. But we just got slammed here. It didn't last but half a second. But we got hit with a very, very hard wind. And we could just basically see the spray of the tornado go right across the highway. And we're right on the highway. Back to you.
Okay, Mike Bennett, this is out by Bouse Junction. It is heading for Waynoka. So we have a tornado outbreak in progress now in Oklahoma. There are multiple supercells that have tornadoes or tornado warnings on them. And there have been quite a few tornadoes already, and there are several on the ground right now at the same time here in Oklahoma. This is up by Bouse Junction, up in northwestern Oklahoma, south of Waynoka. You folks in Waynoka, storm cellar basement, rapid rotation here. This has the potential to produce a large and violent tornado. Earlier, it was a large multi-vortex tornado, and it continues to be intermittently on the ground heading for Waynoka. Let me show you that on Max 3. So intermittent touchdowns there continue, and it's heading right up toward Waynoka. You folks in Waynoka and across the river there on the south and east side of Waynoka, tornado precautions there. So now let's go over to Max 2. There are several areas here that we have dangerous, really dangerous weather going on. Here's the I-35 corridor. Storms are gradually approaching the I-35 corridor. Tornado outbreak is in progress right now. There are numerous tornado warnings. Folks in Alva, Strong Hook. We need to go to Corey Inman on that. Alva, Strong Hook, and tornado precautions for you. Tornado precautions for Waynoka. Let's go to Corey Inman now near Alva. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, I'm on Highway 64 here, just to the northeast of Waynoka. The area of rotation should be crossing the highway here in front of us. It's totally wrapped in rain, Mike. It's making it almost impossible to see anything. Can't tell if there's anything on the ground or not, but it should be crossing the highway here in front of us just any time. Back to you.
J7.
Jeremy.
Okay, appreciate that. Corey, this is for you folks in Alva. Let's go back over to Max 2. So again, we have an outbreak in progress here. So we're highlighting the dangerous areas here. Alva area, tornado precautions right now. Waynoka, south and east of Waynoka, tornado precautions right now. These could be large and potentially violent tornadoes. They've already had quite a few multi-vortex tornadoes up here in northern Oklahoma, and that is a powerful hook now coming into Alva. So tornado warning there, tornado precautions in and all around Alva. We prefer storm cellar basement, or safe room for today because of the possibility of larger, more violent multi-vortex tornadoes. Here's the one south of Winoka right now. That tornado continues intermittently on the ground. We just showed that one to you. And then we have still, it looks to be a large tornado now near Hydro and I-40 heading up toward Gary and Greenfield. Another one here, Corn and Colony. Both of these tornadic right here. Let's go over to the storm tracker. And we've had damage around Cordell from this one right here, roof damage and such. Say that again? Funnel around Colony right now. So the Corn Colony area, here's your time of arrival on that. Take your tornado precautions there. Corn Colony, Sickles, and Lookeba, and Binger, and Red Rock Canyon, and Bridgeport, and Hinton. That's your time of arrival for that one. And here's the time of arrival for the one up here by Hydro, Gary, and Greenfield. Gary at 5:05 and 5:07 for Greenfield. Tornado precautions there also. That's Blaine County, northwestern Canadian County. So Gary and Greenfield, northwest Canadian, and southern Blaine County. Tornado there, could be a large tornado. Let's go over to Max 3, show you the velocities in these storms. And let's go ahead and head on down there. And let's head there. That Alva rotation looks really, really, really strong. And we are concerned for Alva, very much so. Looks very, very strong. Keep Corey Inman in queue up here in northern Oklahoma. That is a powerful circulation heading into Alva at this very moment in time. You need to get to your tornado safe spot right now in the Alva area and don't waste any time on that. You got to be in your tornado safe spot. Let's go on down. That's for Alva. Let's go on down here. So here's the what it still appears to be a large tornado on the ground in Blaine County. Very, very strong rotation here. Several areas of focus of rotation. Gary and Greenfield, tornado precautions right now. Very dangerous situation here. Could be a large tornado on the ground. Let's go back down to Corn and Colony. Funnel clouds continue to be reported here. On the western side of Corn, looks tornadic right there. Do we have Emily Sutton by chance? Is Emily Sutton here on the Gentner? We can talk. Let's talk to Emily Sutton. She's on that storm. Emily?
Yeah, Mike, we are located now just about a mile west of Colony, and we are looking directly at that tornadic storm. It doesn't have as much structure as before. I haven't seen a funnel yet, but there's definitely ragged rotation with this storm. And, I mean, I could see a funnel dropping at any moment. There's a lot of sky beating up into it, a slow inflow. So if it tightens up at all, it could try and drop a tornado. We're keeping a close eye on it. We're right by it. So if you're looking at a stream, you can see the base I'm talking about. And if it's tornadoes, we'll let you know. But so far, we're not seeing that. Just broad circulation. Anyone, though, in the path of this storm, if it tightens up, it will drop a tornado. So definitely take those tornado safety precautions. Mike?
Really appreciate that. Let's go to Bob Moore Chopper 4, talk to John Welsh, and he's coming into this storm here that has been tornadic near Corn and Colony. Go, John.
Yeah, Mike, right now we're over Eagley, shooting back towards the west, and as you can see, this is pretty much the same thing that we've been watching all day. These storms will start to rotate, the wall cloud will lower, and then they'll kind of recycle. However, this one has two different areas, as you can see right there, that have some weak rotation. At times, it'll appear that they're kind of getting their act together, and they'll start to spin up a little bit, and then they start to lift. So this is going to be directly over Corn and Colony, and on radar, you can kind of see it's starting to get just a little bit of a hook on it, but at this point, it's still probably 300 or 400 feet above the ground there, Mike.
Hey, John, appreciate that. Let's go over to Aaron Brackett here for an update. Aaron?
Actually, Colony, rather, looking right at that storm is the southwest of us, coming right to us. And, I mean, it's tail ender, so, it might have a good inflow, good supply of fuel, rotating pretty vigorously. You're looking at it right there in our stream. So there's definite motion right there. The one Emily Sutton is right underneath. We've got a little distance, a little farther vantage point. It's coming right toward us, and we're going to track it. Mike?
Okay, Aaron, continue on with that, please.
Can you say again?
Continue to give us more information on the Corn Colony tornadic storm.
Yeah, absolutely. We're noticing what's a storm tracker Ken Josephs right now, and we're actually noticing there's a little bit of a feeder band. If you look to the what would be the southwest of the storm here, a little bit of a feeder band. There's inflow coming into it, and as far as our winds right here, they're pretty calm right now. But this is at the back end of that line of storms that, I mean, really the whole thing is rotating, Mike. Just about just off the high there, we had a brief funnel, didn't touch down, but it was rotating vigorously. And, I mean, this is at the tail end of that a very dangerous line of storms, basically extending from Geary down to Corn. So what you're looking at right there is rotation that's right over Corn, near Colony, and it's tracking immediately right toward our location.
Okay, Aaron, appreciate that. I'd like to go to Mark Dillard here coming up, and also the chopper. So we have a tornado outbreak in progress. I want to give you an overview right now, okay? Let's go to Max 2. There's the broad view, the overview, and it is important that you stay with us. It's important that you stay with us. We've been on the air now for a little over 3 hours, about 3.5 hours straight, and I think we're not done. It's going to keep on going. On the radio, iHeart Radios. We're on all those iHeart Radio stations as well. A PDS tornado warning, or tornado watch rather, with tornado warnings in progress. Here are our radio stations. You can take these and go to your safe spot. These are approaching the metro now. 96.1 KXY, 101.9 The Twister, KJ 103, and News Radio KTOK 1000 on the AM dial, News Radio 1000 KTOK. It is important you stay forewarned. You can stream us on Facebook. We're Facebook Live streaming right now, or on our mobile devices with our app, or right here on live television. There is an outbreak in progress, and there's going to be more tornadoes going forward. High risk today, a PDS tornado watch for particularly dangerous situation. Oklahoma County is in that tornado watch now for the PDS tornado watch. Oklahoma County, most of the metro now in that PDS tornado watch. We have supercells in northwestern, west central, and southwestern Oklahoma. They're gradually coming out towards central Oklahoma right now. You folks in Alva, you need to still stay in your safe spot. If we have Corey Inman, we can go to him. Say that again. Okay, so the Alva area, you folks in Alva, looks like the tornado there is, no doubt it's on the ground. Looks like a debris ball there, debris ball. Can we go to the debris ball signature there, Damien? Get you time to set up there. Looks like it's quite possibly a large tornado on the ground northwest of Alva. Hopefully it did track to the northwest of Alva. It looks like a large tornado and quite possibly a violent tornado on the ground right now. Hopefully it missed Alva on the northwestern sides of town, but that is every bit of a large violent tornado signature as you will ever see. So this is Woods County, so north and west of Alva. Okay, let's go back over to the velocities, Damien, on 3, and we'll go to let's go to 3. Let's go to 3 here. Look at the velocities at Alva. So there's Alva. Yeah, big tornado there. Corey Inman, big tornado it looks like northwest of Alva. Quickly here, west of Capron, really wrapped up. It looks quite large. Go.
Yeah, Mike, the area rotation is back to my northwest here. There's so much rain in here, Mike, I can't see if it's on the ground or not, but there is a very large area of rotation just to the west of Alva. We're about 4 or 5 miles due west of Alva, coming into Alva on 64. This area is just north of Highway 64, and it's moving off to the east-northeast. Back to you.
Corey, appreciate that. Let's go back to Max 3. So where is this? It's northwest of Alva. Looks like a large and quite possibly violent tornado. It looks like it may have just missed Alva on the west side. It's going northward. Should go to the west of Capron. That's for you folks up in Woods County. Let's go ahead and head on down to the Mike Bennett storm here. Mike Bennett's got something. Let's go head on down, Damien. Head on down. Another tornado on the ground here. This is 412 near Bouse Junction. Go, Mike Bennett.
Yeah, Mike,
big tornado.
Northwest of Bouse Junction. It'll be about a mile, probably 2 miles northwest of Bouse Junction. I've been here before. 2012, we had a tornado almost in the exact same area. This is going to be possibly affecting Winoka here just shortly, and also the sand dunes, the state park there. But large tornado on the ground, and I will tell you, Mike, just between that tornado and where we're at right now, we've had funnel clouds developing right above us. But this has finally taken over and become dominant, and we have a canyon wall rotating around that wall cloud, and so I'm going to go on up the road here, Mike. We got so much traffic out here. It's hard to get pull off. But let me go ahead and get off the road here. It's going to cross the highway here. It's probably going to be about 3 minutes away from crossing the highway. But it may hopefully stay south of Winoka. But actually, Mike, I'm going to say Winoka's probably in peril here.
Yep, they are. Mike Bennett, appreciate that. So you folks in Winoka, you need to go to your tornado safe spot and do it now. We're talking about storm cellar, basement, the safest place you know. This is a large, rapid rotation there. You saw the size of the tornado just north of Bouse Junction now, coming right up the highway 281 right now, coming northbound 281, coming right into Waynoka. Dangerous situation for Waynoka right now. Could be a large, violent tornado. You just saw the video stream. Control room, take the liberty if you see his stream coming back. Just put it up on the screen there. Dangerous for Waynoka. Tornado safe spot there. The rotation has missed Alva. It's going north of Alva up there in Woods County. It's heading northbound there. So this is violent rotation here. It was a large tornado for Mike Bennett's stream. Now, let's go from there. Tornado outbreak in progress right now. Let's go ahead and go from there. Head on down here to the Weatherford. This is quite possibly a very big tornado. It's either a very big tornado or an extremely large mesocyclone that has a bunch of little tornadoes in it. But this is violent circulation here. Gary and Greenfield, I do believe Aaron Brackett is on this right now. Aaron Brackett, go.
Yeah, Mike, still watching this rotating wall cloud right here. It's moving almost due east right now, almost due east. It's basically Colony moving toward the east. Storm continues to cycle. I mean, this is the tail end of it right here. This is the back of southern part of the storm that we're watching on our stream. So that is rotating, hanging a little bit lower from time to time, trying to get itself organized. And this is the same storm, has a major history. We're going to watch it for you.
Aaron, appreciate that. You folks in Greenfield, this is very serious. Let's go back over to the North Doppler radar. We're going to go to Mark Dillard next. He's on this storm. So here's Greenfield. Here's Gary. This is Blaine County, Canadian County, Calumet, El Reno. The West Metro's right here. This looks like a large tornado on the ground coming into Greenfield right now. West-northwest of Gary and just southwest of Greenfield. Large, violent circulation here coming into Greenfield. Let's go back over to Max 3 here. And there's the rotation. Go to the intensity display there, Damien. Okay, Mark Dillard's up next here with an update on that. Mark Dillard for Gary and Greenfield. Go.
Yes, Mike. I'm just to the north of Gary, looking back off to my south and west, and you can see there in the very, very center, looks like I may have a funnel coming down to the ground there, kind of ragged. But I've also got an area just to the north of that, and then a large area that's going to be wrapped up in rain, Mike. So this could have several areas of circulation, as you've been mentioning, could be wrapped up in rain. We're just really occluded here on this northern edge of the circulation here with a lot of rain. There's a notch there just to the west of Gary, and that's about all I can see into it. And you can see there, let me zoom back in, you can see there it basically changes rapidly the features of the lowering. So could be in contact with the ground intermittently, doesn't take much because this whole area is so low to the ground here. And I'm looking off to my due west, and I really cannot see through that occluded area of rain. So we're going to be right here tracking it. Mike, it's going to continue. You're going to need to start worrying about the northwest metro area.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. Let's give you the overview here, what we have going on right now. The PDS Tornado Watch for a particularly dangerous situation for an outbreak in progress continues in effect. This is in effect until 8 o'clock, and it does include the I-35 corridor. Oklahoma City, Norman, Piedmont, Edmond, Guthrie, up into Perry and Enid and Kingfisher and El Reno and Chickasha. PDS Tornado Watch here. Tornado warnings now north of Alva. You folks in Waynoka, continue in your tornado safe spot. Basement, storm cellar, we prefer those today. The safest place you know, Waynoka. Mike Bennett's on that. We'll go to him momentarily. And then also Blaine County, Gary, Greenfield. Indications of a large tornado there heading for Gary and Greenfield. The tornado warning includes northwestern Canadian County and then also near Weatherford right now. Tornado warning for you as well on the back of that big storm there. And then a tornado warning now for southeastern Tillman County and approaching Cotton County in far southern Oklahoma. That is a PDS tornado warning. These are going to be approaching Highway 81 and the I-35 corridor in the next 1 to 2 hours. They're doing so right now. They're starting to approach the West Metro, the Northwest Metro. So this is the activity here. Let's go ahead and zoom on into this. Let's go to Mike Bennett now for Waynoka. This has been a large tornado intermittently on the ground, multi-vortex near Waynoka. Go, Mike Bennett.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, I believe it's still on the ground, even though you don't see a condensation funnel. We've got rapid rotation. We have an intermittent multiple vortex. But the rotation is so close to the ground and so rapid and so tight that it's a tornado on the ground without question. And fact, as we speak, it's actually even becoming more concentrated. So you're probably getting ready to see a condensation funnel spin right back down. It's going to cross the highway just in front of us here, about maybe a mile to our north. So everybody in Winoka, take your tornado precautions. Anybody in Tacoma, further up the road, this storm is very, very organized and is probably going to continue to tornado intermittently for quite some time. Back to you.
Okay, Mike Bennett, that is the update for you folks in Winoka. You're looking at a tornado right there. You're looking at it. That is a tornado right there. And it's a large circulation. That is a tornado. Again, it's lifting directly into Winoka. Let me show you the motion of that spin right there. Let's go over to max 3. So you folks in Winoka, this is very dangerous. It is heading right up into Winoka right now. It has produced large multi-vortex tornadoes, a history of them back down through Major County and far eastern Woodward County. So up into Winoka, you folks in Winoka, right now, you got to be in your tornado safe spot. We prefer those storm cellars or basements or safe rooms as it lifts on up to the north here through right into Winoka. So that's it right there, and it continues on the ground. That's the stream of the actual tornado as it continues on the ground. Now, let's go on down to I-40. It still looks like a large tornado now coming into, yep, Mark Dillard's going to be it. Mark Dillard, you're going to be the guy right here. So the Greenfield needs to be in their tornado safe spot. We prefer storm cellars or basements, safe rooms with this activity right here. Let's go over to the North Doppler here. Before I go to Mark Dillard, I'm going to tell you exactly where this is. And the area that we are seeing here is going to be just to the southwest of Greenfield. It's a huge circulation. Mark Dillard's north of Gary. Let's go to his stream right now. Go, Mark Dillard.
We point into Gary proper from the south, from I-40, and it's really wrapping up, becoming included in rain. I really have to ask folks in this area, just go ahead and get your safe spot. That's the bottom line. It can be very, very wrapped up in rain and occluded where you cannot see it, and it could be on top of you in just a minute. So we're going to take 270, we're going to jog up, and we're going to try to get to Okarche, Mike, and stay out ahead of it. Basically the best thing I can do, because if you get caught in it, you're in a blinding hurricane you just cannot see. So folks in Greenfield, north of Gary area, and then again over toward Okarche and the Northwest Metro, folks, this is it. You don't have much more time to be ready for this large, possibly tornadic supercell as it's coming. Like I haven't seen anything in contact with the ground because I surely cannot see through the rain, probably wrapped up. Several areas of circulation and on radar, it looks like a very, very large area of circulation there. So you could have intermittent contact. It's not a large funnel on the ground. Back to you.
Okay, Mark Dillard, appreciate that. Where from Gary are you right now? Gary being about 15, 20 miles west-northwest of El Reno. Where are you from, Gary?
I'm heading east on 270 and I'm going to work some side roads to get to Okarche. And I'm on the leading edge of it, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that. So, Mark, I have the tornado right now on the highway, but halfway between Gary and Greenfield. Halfway between Gary and Greenfield is where we have it. It's on the highway right now. So let's go to your stream here again and look at it. You might be able to go eastbound potentially on Waterloo Road. So let's go to the storm tracker here. So what we have going on, I'll give you an update here, a little broader view. Here's Oklahoma County right here. Now we have heavy thunderstorms coming into Oklahoma County right here. And these have been intensifying. So we're going to have thunder and lightning and some wind and rain coming into Oklahoma, Cleveland, and McLean counties. Those storms are intensifying. You're watching News Channel 4 at 5 o'clock here as we have our continuous severe weather coverage going on. This is becoming into the metro, so thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. What we want you to know right now is with this, there's no risk of any tornadoes with this. There's no rotation, but it's going to get thunder and lightning and heavy rain and windy for Oklahoma City, Moore, Newcastle right now, even down to Norman. The supercells back up here to the west-northwest of El Reno, and right there on the highway between Greenfield and Gary is where that is, and it's heading basically for very close to Okarche and Kingfisher. So it's heading now Okarche, Kingfisher is where that supercell is headed. Let's go back over to Mike Bennett here. Let's go ahead and take a look at that lower stream that we have right there. This is going to be for the area up around Waynoka. Let's get an update from Mike Bennett. Mike, still an intermittent tornado there at least, huh?
Emily wants to know, should she hop on I-40 and get to... So
we're looking at intermittent tornado here heading into Waynoka. I tell you, folks, you folks in Okarche still have a really strong indication of a powerful tornado just north of Gary. Tell Mark Dillard to turn around and go back to Gary and go east to Calumet, I think. Let's just pass that along to him. So let's go back over to that video stream there of Waynoka. And let's look at that tornado on the ground because it's heading right into Waynoka right now. Continued tornado here from Mike Bennett. We have a tornado outbreak in progress right now in Oklahoma. This has been at times a large multi-vortex tornado. It is lifting due northward into Waynoka right now. Let's go over to Max 3. And we can show you where that spin is on Max 3. And the rotation there just now coming into Waynoka from the south. So you see the spin there, and that is going to be rotation there with the tornado on the ground. You see it right there in Waynoka. As it lifts to the due north into Waynoka, you need to be in a tornado-safe spot right now. We're talking about storm cellar basement, the safest place that you know. It has been at times multi-vortex, large, and pretty violent, too. If you get Mike Bennett, tell us if you have Mike Bennett. Okay, so this is northwestern Oklahoma. Let's go to the intensity on that, Damien, and take a look. Tornado warning continues there, and it's going to keep lifting due northward with that tornado. You see it right there on the ground, and we'll get back with Mike Bennett. But it's coming into Waynoka here just in the next few minutes. Mike Bennett live. Go, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Yeah, all right, here's what's going on. That tornado that we had on the ground just a few minutes ago, that has actually moved to the west. Okay, so what that does, I'm not sure it's on the ground now, but it's really close. But because the rotation moved to the west, that puts it more in line with possibly striking, being a direct hit on Waynoka if it does come back down. So everybody in Waynoka, get in your shelter because this thing just it's not very far. I think. Okay, as I say that, Mike, it's actually a lot more elevated now than it was. So hopefully that rotation is going to be winding down. But right now, Mike, it doesn't look near as ominous as it did right when I just first started talking to you. That's how quickly it changed. So what we're gonna do now, Mike, is we're gonna look for new area rotation because I believe that's still rotating. I'm sitting here looking at it. That still could produce a tornado. Okay, it's probably not going to be a real strong one if it does, but that's very much in line with coming directly into Waynoka. And as I look straight to my north, looks like we've got maybe a new mesocyclone developing just over 281 here, just south of Waynoka. So anyway, we're no tornado on the ground right now. Back to you.
Okay, Mike Bennett, appreciate that. So let's go back. Can we show his stream again? Let's go ahead and go back to, okay, well, let's show it anyway. It has lifted. The tornado is lifted. You heard him talking about that. So that's good news. Let's hope it stays lifted in the Waynoka area, but the tornado warning does continue. So let's go ahead and go from there on Max 3. So a lot going on here. This is the spin here with the tornado still potentially in progress around Waynoka as it lifts due to the north. Now go back to intensity, Damien, and let's go ahead and head on down here, back down towards central Oklahoma. And we need to go into this supercell right here. We have Mark Dillard, I think. This indications here still of a large tornado, and it's going to be just on the east-southeastern sides of Greenfield, just crossed over the highway, and it's going to be coming into far northwestern Canadian County, heading for Okarche and for Kingfisher right now. Let's go to Mark Dillard here live on that particular storm. Mark? Okay, Mark Dillard's still tracking that now, just on the eastern sides of Greenfield. And we're still showing a large tornado on the ground west of Okarche right now. West of Okarche, a live large tornado on the ground right now. Okay. So flooding going on in Weatherford currently. That back storm, let's go to the storm tracker here. Let's go to the storm tracker. And this is the one really to be most concerned about for central Oklahoma. Now, thunderstorms are increasing with a lot of lightning in Moore and Norman up into South Oklahoma City. So we're going to have some hail coming into the metro right now, some hail coming in. But this is the one we're most concerned about right now, west of Okarche. Let's go over to the North Doppler. Let me show you this velocity. And it looks like a large tornado continues on the ground. It just crossed the highway. Now it's due east of Greenfield by 5.5 to 6 miles due east of Greenfield. Here's Okarche. Here's Kingfisher. You folks in Kingfisher and Okarche on the far northwest sides of the metro, be thinking about your tornado safe spot. We prefer storm cellars, basements, or safe rooms today because of the nature of these larger, more violent tornadoes. But there's no doubt there's still a large tornado on the ground east of Greenfield. Let's go back over to the storm tracker. Mark Dillard, go.
Yes, Mike. Continuing to try to look back at that, it's just an area where we want to see into that notch there on radar. I cannot see into it. Trying to stay out ahead of it. And it's really wrapped up in rain, so I don't have a good visual on it. I'm going to get up here to Calumet, go north to Okarche, and hopefully be able to get into that notch area or just ahead of it where we can kind of see back in it. But I have to tell you, Mike, there's so much precipitation with it. It's probably just going to be rain wrapped, and that's a really bad situation. So folks in the path of this, be prepared for it when it comes because it's going to really hit you hard. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. Mark, tell me your location and what direction you're traveling right now.
Mike, we're going to be in Calumet within just a matter of about 3 minutes on 270, then north of Calumet on Calumet Road. Back to you. Okay,
appreciate that. So, again, right now, it's in fairly open countryside right now, but let's go ahead and take a look at the North Doppler radar because this has every trademark here of a really big tornado. Large and violent. East of Greenfield, right there on the Canadian County line, coming into southwestern Kingfisher County, but right now it's on the Blaine. Yeah, tornado warning for Kingfisher County. Indications of a large, violent tornado here. This is north of Gary, northwest of Calumet, due west of Okarche now. It's right there on Waterloo Road. And southwest of Kingfisher, it is heading for Kingfisher, and it looks very much like a large, violent and it looks multi-vortex here. We see several areas of spin, tornado here. It's in extreme southeastern Blaine County right now. Let's go back to the storm tracker and show you kind of the metro view here. So we're talking about this storm right here. And here's El Reno. And we have thunderstorms coming into the metro. These are not tornadic. There's no signs of any organized rotation. There's a little spin in some of these, but nothing right now organized with these. But heavy thunderstorms are now coming into Bethany, South Oklahoma City, Moore, West Moore, and Norman. And these are intensifying, so they are going to have some hail with them. This continues to look to be a large tornado due west of Okarche right now, heading into Kingfisher County, and it is heading directly for Kingfisher. You folks in Kingfisher today, we prefer something below ground or a storm cellar, basement, safe room, of the like. We prefer that type of shelter here because of the nature of these tornadoes. The circulation down by Hydro has weakened quite a bit. There's quite a bit of flooding going on in the Weatherford area. They've had some large hail. They had tornadic activity go right by Weatherford. And this activity now from Weatherford now has come on up east of Greenfield, west of Okarche, and southwest of Kingfisher. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard here live. He's in Calumet, and he's northbound, I think, now out of Calumet. Let's go to Mark Dillard here live with an update on that storm. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Just now pulling into Calumet proper. Haven't made the north turn, but just about to. Still looking back at it, and it's just really a wall of water circulating back behind me, Mike. Just cannot see into that circulation center, but on radar, it's very impressive. Sometimes it will tighten up, and then other times it will kind of roll itself out, but it's still circulating. And it can be put down or be putting down several circulation points or a large funnel altogether by itself. So I really have to plead with folks that are in the Kingfisher, between Okarche, Kingfisher area, be vigilant, heads up. Your window of opportunity is really kind of starting to close now as the storm's rapidly approaching from out of Calumet in just a matter of moments, Mike. Get on Calumet Road and get on up into Kingfisher County proper. Back to you.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. I tell you what, I still show indications of a really big tornado here. Really dangerous, really violent tornado. Southwest of Kingfisher, west of Okarche. Let's go to the storm tracker. And really high wind velocities in this. Thank you for that. Really high wind velocities in this. And it is traveling right for Kingfisher. Okarche, you're still in the cone here of danger, but the red line, center line is near Kingfisher, northern side of Okarche. So you folks in Kingfisher, here's your time of arrival, 5:42 in Kingfisher. Okarche could go as far south as Okarche, 5:34. Four Corners, that'd be the Piedmont area, far northwest Edmond, potentially at 5:59. 9. Up north of Deer Creek, Edmond, and then Cashin 601 and Crescent Springs at 610, and Navina in Logan County. That'd be the Navina Seward area at 610. Let's go to the North Doppler here, still showing every indication of a large violent tornado. The rotation has come off just a little bit, just to the past couple of sweeps, but it looks still very much on the ground. Earlier, it looked very much like a higher-end multi-vortex violent tornado. So we'll see how that pans out. But the rotation's still very vigorous, very, very strong, and still looks quite large and quite significant now. This is southeastern Blaine County, east of Greenfield, and southwest of Kingfisher. I just showed you the storm projection on that, and the beam coming around here. Yeah, still a tornado right there. That is clearly, easily a tornado right now. It's in Blaine County. It is heading directly for Kingfisher. It's heading directly for Kingfisher. That's easily the F3 tornado or higher. With the strength of that rotation right there, that is a violent tornado. Let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker. Where is this headed? Well, it's heading from Blaine County into Kingfisher County, and there's your time of arrival on Kingfisher at 5:42. Alpha Omega at 5:28 in Kingfisher County. Alpha and Omega at 5:28 in Kingfisher County as it tracks into Kingfisher County from southeastern Blaine County. Let's go to Mark Dillard. He's northbound now out of Calumet and get an update from Mark. Go, Mark.
Yes, Mike. You see this ragged picture. That's not going to be the circulation that we're concerned about. It's going to be off back into the rain. There's a very, very dark portion there that you really cannot see into. We're going to try to get north of Calumet here along Kingfisher County Line Road. Might have to get
going away. There's nothing. Mark, appreciate that. So the Kingfisher area looks to be a large violent tornado still on the ground. Mark Dillard is coming up on it right now. It's up here to his northwest. So let's go ahead and take a little broader view of what's going on right now and what we have happening currently. Here's the tornado watch on Max 2. So this is a tornado watch. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings now in effect for Oklahoma County. We talked about the hail size coming up, thunder and lightning coming up, very heavy downpours of rain, gusty winds. So severe thunderstorm warnings, Oklahoma and Cleveland counties. So the central and south metro right now, and then back down through southwest Kingfisher County, a tornado warning there, indications of a large violent tornado, and then tornado warning now from near Waynoka straight northward into Woods County, and a tornado warning for far southeastern Tillman County coming into Cotton County right now. The PDS tornado watch for particularly dangerous situation is in effect for the Oklahoma City area as well, as this all lifts on out to the northeast and the east at around 30 to 35. So heavy to severe storms out in far western Oklahoma. Nothing really tornado-wise right there. The circulation near Waynoka has lifted to the north of Waynoka, and you folks in Waynoka now, an update for Waynoka. You are now clear from that particular thunderstorm, but the tornado warning does continue. It's lifting due northward west of Avard and west of Alva right now, but it has cleared Waynoka. Waynoka no longer under tornado threat from that supercell there. The ceiling area there, not a real problem there anymore. Still a large circulation here coming into the Kingfisher area, and severe storms back down in northern Roger Mills County, west of Leedy. Very large hail with those. Could be baseball size or larger, and those will be tracking it toward Leedy and Morewood and Vi size. So some really big hail there. West central and southwest Oklahoma right now, pretty clear. Let's go to the storm tracker. We're going to zoom in to this area here, northwest side of the metro. Still indications of a large tornado here. This is Altoona and Alpha and Okarche. Okarche 534, Kingfisher at 542, and over toward Four Corners and up toward Logan County, out toward Simpson Road and Cashin at 601. And this is a dangerous storm right here. Also, some rotation continues near Hydro on I-40 east of Weatherford. So still some rotation there west of Gary right now. Let's go ahead and go to Mark Dillard here and check out this storm here west of Okarche with a live update. Mark, what do you have?
Well, Mike, you can see the windmills spinning, and they're pointed to the south and east. That's the direction the wind is flowing into that circulation there. But on radar, it looks like it's kind of broadened out a little bit. I still need folks to take their tornado precautions in up toward the Kingfisher area. But as far as being able to start to see it a little bit, Mike, I can start to see a little more feature to it. Still very low wall cloud, from what I can tell. Can't see anything in contact with the ground due to the precipitation between me and the lowering there. But nonetheless, these are the dangerous situations when they're wrapped up in rain like this, Mike. Got to rely on radar a lot. So just continue with your tornado precautions if you're west of Okarche and to the south and west of Kingfisher. Back to you.
To Kingfisher. You folks in Kingfisher, you're in danger. You are in danger. Let's go to the North Doppler radar. This needs to lift. This needs to lift. Here's Kingfisher right here, and indications here of a violent tornado continues. Violent tornado here, and it is heading directly for Kingfisher. It's pretty much red line, center line for Kingfisher. Mark Dillard now is coming up from Canadian County. He'll be ahead of it here, but still indications of a violent tornado heading for Kingfisher. And let's go ahead and go. I think we have Aaron Brackett. Let's go to Aaron Brackett. He is closing in on this circulation here. Still a violent area of circulation here, southwest of Kingfisher. Aaron?
Yeah, that's right. We're coming up on El Reno pretty soon right now. We're on the south end of the storm, and there is a little bit of a base, but I do believe that the rotation, much like Mark Dillard said, it's enshrouded in that rain. Very, very strong rotation inside that rain, and that's where the danger zone is. So the thing is, folks aren't going to see this coming. We've seen a lot of chasers out here and people looking at it. You're not going to see it. So very dangerous, Mike. We're going to get a little bit closer, see what we can see.
Aaron, appreciate that. So this is a continued tornado warning for Kingfisher County, and we still see the tornado. It's still on the ground. It looks like it's on. It looks like it might be leaning more northward toward Dover now. It may be leaning more northward toward Dover, but Kingfisher County tornado warning very much continues for you. Let's go over to Bob Moore Chopper 4 and talk to John Welsh. He's out by Bridgeport and Hydro right now on I-40. This was a storm that earlier went through Cordell. There is a wall cloud here. It is spinning. It is still a supercell. This is right on the northern side of I-40 now in far northern Caddo County, coming into much of southern Blaine County. John, what do you know?
Yeah, that's right, Mike. We're just going to be, the storm we're shooting here is going to be about 6 or 7 just to the west of Gary, like you said, about 4 or 5 miles north of I-40, and it's kind of starting to recycle again. We've been watching it for about the last 15 or 20 minutes. It had 2 different lowerings. This farther northeast lowering has pretty much taken command. You're obviously seeing a little bit of rotation in there. We've watched this funnel cloud before within a couple hundred feet and then lift back up, and it looks like, at least on radar, that this is starting to break free from the storm that from the Weatherford storm here. So it looks like it might start to get a little bit of its own energy. Just to the left of the shots, you can see all that heavy rain in there. Earlier when the lowering came, so did all the water came out of it too, which took a lot of the energy away. But again, this is going to be tracking almost directly towards Gary. It's about 6.5 or so south and west of Gary with this rotating wall cloud here, Mike.
Let's go to Mark Dillard here. Mark Dillard, go. Go, Mark Dillard.
Mike, finally been able to get some clarity and look back at this. This is going to be basically to my south and just a shade west. If I draw a straight line to my west, I'm going to be 2 south of Greenfield. This is just about 2 south of that. So that's the area of circulation there. Funnel, you can see it basically kind of rotating apart, and then it will kind of close in back together. And when we looked back the first time, it was almost a stovepipe down to the ground, Mike. Now it's starting to look like it's breaking apart a little bit. Then we may have another one just off to the north of that there, maybe a half mile or a mile apart of lowerings there. So again, folks, you're going to need to take your tornado precautions in this area. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, so Mark, again, this is a really large circulation. So it looks like it is basically pretty much on the Canadian Kingfisher County line. Is that about what you're seeing?
Look at this again. Yes. Maybe just a shade south, Mike, is where I had that.
Okay.
Now it's kind of breaking up a little bit. Then I've got that next area just to the north of that. That's
okay.
A little darker back up in there.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. So the chopper here is on an area of rotation that is picking up, and this is out here on I-40 near Bridgeport and Hydro. Mark Dillard is on a tornado here. Tornado here. Now, this is heading for Kingfisher. This is heading for Kingfisher. The crazy thing about this area of violent motion that I have on radar, it's a really big area with several areas of violent motion embedded in it. And Mark's got a really good vantage point of that right now. Mark, are you looking due west? What direction are you looking right now?
Yeah, pretty much due west where that notch is, Mike. Maybe just a hair. I'm looking at GPS. Maybe just a hair south of that is where that is. Basically back toward Greenfield there.
Yeah, so it's east of Greenfield, of course. It is west-southwest of Kingfisher right now. Is there a problem with that clip? Let's see. Here, let me put it on. Got a small clip problem here. Go, Mark Dillard. Keep talking to me.
Yeah, so that continues. Just some rotation there. Maybe kind of break it up, and then again the darkest area there is just to the north of it. So it may be more or less just lifting scud. I'm kind of included by the horizon and the windmills, but then the darkest area back over here to the north is got some lowering to it there in the haze.
Mark, I tell you what, let's go ahead and let's go over to Max 3, and we have a lot of thunder and lightning here in the metro, so these are severe here. These are all severe. So hail, let's go ahead and check the hail sizes here. These are not tornadic, and not right now, and I don't see anything in here that looks tornadic at all, but a lot of heavy storms right now in the metro. As you can see here, the hail sizes, they are coming up. It's very unstable outside, so this hail size could go up really fast, and right now it's about golf ball in the Moore area, about golf ball, 1.3 there. But it is coming up really fast, and that larger hail is coming right into South Oklahoma City. Back to the intensities on that. So severe thunderstorm warnings. This is heavy rain, very gusty winds. Say it again. Let's go ahead and check out our Oklahoma City camera here, downtown Oklahoma City, and you see the really heavy rain outside in downtown Oklahoma City, some scattered hail. So folks traveling home, 5:25 here on a Thursday afternoon. Let's go back to Max 3. Heavy rain, hail, could be some damaging winds. This is all now from Moore up into South Oklahoma City, Central Oklahoma City. Walk on north there, Damien. Central Oklahoma City up into Edmond here. Let's check the hail size out here. Hail size, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Severe thunderstorm warnings. Biggest hail size is about 1.5 inches in diameter. Might not quite be that big. It just scaled back a little bit down in Moore after going to about golf ball. Now it looks like quarters and nickels. Quarters and nickels in South Oklahoma City and Moore. That hail size could easily come back up. Right now it looks like quarters and nickels. Now go back to intensity. Ease out on that shot. So these are all severe. Just want you to know for Oklahoma County, severe thunderstorm warning. No signs of any tornadoes right now in the immediate Oklahoma City area. No signs, but a lot of wind, a lot of rain, some pockets of hail here, a lot of thunder and lightning. All right, let's go back up here to this huge storm up in Okarche, the Okarche area. You're going to have to go over here to TLX, Damien, because of the attenuation we're getting. Still a large rotation area southwest of Kingfisher. Very large rotation area. Let's go over to the North Doppler radar and look at that spin. And yeah, still looks like tornado on the ground here. Now west of Kingfisher, it's almost lifting due northward now up through the Loyal and Omega area on Highway 33. Loyal, Omega area back down to about where Mark Dillard is located. You saw what looked to be tornadoes on the ground from Dillard a short while ago. Let's go back over to Max 3. And this is going to be Kingfisher County here. And let's look at the hail size on this. Hail sizes on this are going to be quite large. And we're running a lot of golf balls there, some 2-inch, some tennis balls, golf balls and tennis balls. That's the hail size. Let's go back to the intensity on that. Let's go back over to Mark Dillard here, about 2-inch diameter hail. Mark Dillard with an update. Mark, it looks like the strongest spin is on 33, lifting due northward almost, west of Kingfisher.
Okay, Mike, we are just passing the county line road now. We're going to be due west of Okarche, looking back to the west and northwest. I can't really make anything out there that would be west of Kingfisher, except for that feature. There'll be a little delay in the stream, but there's a feature there ahead of me. Then there's another one with maybe an intermittent loose funnel feature that tries to kind of wrap up again, kind of about midway. And then that area that's still a lot of lifting scud and intermittent tightening and possible funnels back down to the south. So that's going to be that south from radar. It kind of looks like a kind of a bit of a south hook feature that's got a little rotation in it. But honestly, Mike, it looks like a little more organized to the south than what I can see to the north. But that's not to say it's not wrapped up in rain, just very difficult to make out. Back to you.
All right, appreciate that. So let's go over to the broad view here on Max 2. So we have some severe storms in progress here in the metro, and tornado warning here for Blaine County is about ready to expire. Tornado warning for Kingfisher County is going to continue. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in Oklahoma County and Cleveland County. So those continue with hail and wind, and still a tornado warning west of Alva right now. So really, at this juncture, we're going to have 2 tornado warnings in effect, and only 2, and that's good. That's less than we had earlier. The tornado watch does continue. It's a PDS, or particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. So here are the tornado reports today. There have been quite a few already. We do have an outbreak in progress in Kansas and Oklahoma right now. And here's that supercell west of Alva with an ongoing tornado warning there. Mainly hail from Woodward on down to Leedy, west of Vici. Mainly hail there. Could be pretty good size hail, though. And still some pretty strong spin due west of Alva. It's lifting due northward, and Corey is on that. Severe storm out here by Leedy and Camargo. That's got some good size hail with it. Northern Roger Mills County. It is a supercell out there, so the hail may be quite large. And then we still have this area of rotation near Gary and also near Kingfisher right now. And then we have the severe weather ongoing in Norman. There's a little spin now starting to form on the eastern sides of Noble. There is a little spin now starting to form on the eastern sides of Noble. Let's go ahead and look at the velocities on that and go to Max 3. Let's look at the velocities here over in Cleveland County. And there's a little spin there forming eastern sides of Norman. A little spin over to Max 3. And we'll go ahead and walk on down here to, there's a little spin here. Yeah, a little spin here forming eastern sides of Norman. So would not be impossible here to get some bigger hail. There is rotation there forming eastern sides of Norman. Higher velocity straight line winds are there. And also some pretty good wind up here around Draper Lake and up toward Choctaw Road and I-40. Some stronger winds there. Let's go back to intensity on that. Let's go back to intensity on that and look at this little area spin. In the Norman area, switch radars there. And here it is, zoom into that. A little spin here coming up pretty fast in the East Norman area. So we have to watch that extremely carefully. Yeah, just east of Noble. So spin picking up quickly now. Eastern sides of Noble coming into East Norman, and that rotation is increasing pretty quickly right now. That hail size, it's going to be coming up. That hail size comes up. So Highway 9, East Norman. You folks stay alert for larger hail, and the rotation is increasing east of Noble and on Highway 9, southwest of Pink, on the east side of Norman, and just southwest of Lake Thunderbird. Just southwest of Lake Thunderbird and the East Norman area, hail size coming up, and rotation area is also coming up as well. That's lifting to the north-northeast, north-northeast, so stay alert for Cleveland County. Let's walk on up the line here. More hail, more wind over through East Moore, Midwest City, Del City. Let's check the hail sizes again here. And hail sizes here are going to be running some quarters, some nickels, some dimes. Yeah, quarters, nickels, dimes. There's some quarters. Let's check the hail down there, East Norman, see what the hail size is in that. Fairly small right now. Hail sizes, quarters and nickels and dimes. Mainly nickels and dimes, some quarters. Okay, so let's go ahead and back out, go to intensity. Perfect. Okay, so there's Cleveland County. That's the update for Norman. That's the update for Midwest City, Del City. Severe, not tornadic right now. There is a little spin there, east of Norman, but not tornadic right now. And then Choctaw up to Edmond. Let's go on up to Edmond right now. Edmond, hail coming into Edmond right now. Frontier City area, dimes and nickels, Frontier City area. Also Edmond area, dimes and nickels, Frontier City, Oakdale Valley, Frontier City, Oakdale Valley, dimes and nickels there. And let's go ahead and go on out. Things are changing out here to the west. So let's go on out here to the west now. Kingfisher County and also near Gary. So we're going to talk to Mark Dillard. And who's the center stream there? Who's the center stream over there on that tri-box over there? That's the chopper. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the chopper. We're going to check out this spin near Gary right now. This spin near Gary. Let's go to Bob Moore Chopper 4. He's looking at that right now. John?
Yeah, Mike, we're just kind of shooting northwest of Gary. Gary's right in the bottom of our shot here. We're shooting obviously back towards the west. And you can see it's kind of been doing the same thing this storm has been doing since we've out this. It'll start to spin, you'll get a little lowering, and it'll kind of lift back up. The one thing that we have noticed with this particular storm right here is the rain is starting to die out, so we're starting to see a little bit more rotation. I think a lot of it would really start to ramp up, and then the rain would come for a lot of its energy away in disrupting the inflow here. Looking at it, when we were a little bit farther away from a distance, it was kind of making its own meso. Now it almost looks like it's starting to blend back into the other cell that it broke away from. But there's definitely a lot of rotation here, a lot of rising scud. However, nothing at this point is really localized and rapid here, Mike.
Okay, appreciate that. Okay, so what's happening here is let's go ahead and go over to the North Doppler. We're going to check with Mark Dillard next. Let's go to the North Doppler here and check it out. And the rotation is really coming down. It may cycle, it may not. In other words, it may go back up, or it may not. We'll see. It looks like the tornado is either lifting or has lifted west of Kingfisher right now. Yeah, okay, so from the Weather Service right now, they're going to cancel that tornado warning for Kingfisher County. It looks like it's really falling apart, and it looks like it's either lifted or is lifting right now on Highway 33. So that no longer, that's a major, major victory there, because that was really some tremendous rotation a short while ago, the kind that you see with violent tornadoes, but it's not showing up as much now. There is still a mesocyclone there, but it's not nearly as strong as it was on Highway 33 due west of Kingfisher. Can we go over to the storm tracker and let's talk to Mark Dillard about that? So here's the lead storm there west of Kingfisher, but the Greenfield and Gary rotation is getting a little stronger. It's getting a little bit stronger right now near Gary and Greenfield. We just showed that to you from the chopper shot. So the tornado warning is going to be allowed to be canceled west of Kingfisher. Go Mark Dillard.
Yes, Mike, and that's good news, as you were saying, for the folks up here in Kingfisher County. You're looking basically to my north and west over toward the Highway 33 corridor just to the west of Kingfisher. That's what's left of that circulation center there. And then I'm gonna turn and look back to my up and west. And Kevin Causey's gonna zoom in there, and that's that area over by Greenfield. So it's got a more pronounced lowering wall area, and it has more rotation with it. So we're gonna keep our eye back here. We'll keep this on radar, but we're gonna focus our attention back down here as this comes.
Okay, let's go to the let's go to the storm tracker here, and so we may be starting to focus more. What the trend here, what may be happening right now, is the Kingfisher tornado warning is going to be canceled, basically, based on how quickly that rotation has fallen apart. It looks like what's happening is the energy may be trying to transfer back to the Greenfield storm. Now, if that happens, that's going to put Okarche and the northwest sides, the far northwest sides of the metro at a greater risk of severe weather if that happens. And here's your time of arrival. Okarche 6:05, Kingfisher 6:13, and Reading and Wandle at 6:24 and 6:29. The energy may be transferring back to the Greenfield area. Let's go over to Bob Moore Chopper 4 and take a look at that. But I think we're still back up for the Kingfisher County area. Obviously a large area of spin here. It's not very fast. It's fairly weak spin, but it's near Greenfield and north of Gary. Go John Welsh.
Yeah, Mike, it's actually increased a little bit as far as just the spin in general. Like you said, nothing is really strong here. We have a couple different scud, as you can kind of see, it runs down. In the bottom of your shot, that's Highway 270 that leaves Gary and goes up to Atonga, just to kind of give you a spot where we're at. We're shooting back towards the northwest here, but there's definitely a lot more spin in this storm that we've seen in quite a while. You're getting more of a wall cloud that's starting to lower here. All this looks like it's about to start to blend in. There's no rain behind it. That was really been one of the problems before that has been bringing these down. There is still a lot of heavy rain in front of it. However, this tail end Charlie storm, it seems like it's kind of starting to break away, and it's getting a lot more energy now that it hasn't been, because it's not getting robbed.
Okay, John, appreciate that. So let's go ahead and take a look at, let's go over to Max 2, and let's look at the metro here again. So we still have severe thunderstorms in progress in the metro. There is still some spin here over Lake Thunderbird, just now north of Highway 9. And also up here in the Choctaw area, Midwest City, some hail there. So this is Oklahoma County now. We're looking at Oklahoma County and Cleveland County. So these are heavy to severe storms. Could be damaging wind in here. Let's check the hail size out. And let's go over to Max 3 and look at the hail size on the activity in Oklahoma County. And severe thunderstorm warning continues in effect. The hail right now is from Edmond to near the K4 Studios to about Frontier City, the Oakdale Valley. Notice the big hail is now increasing here just southwest of Midwest City and Del City, very close to Del City right now. That hail is going up to about golf ball or a little bit bigger, 1.5 right there. So there could be some localized golf ball size hail there. And then there's some hail down here by Lake Thunderbird. So hail up to golf ball size coming into Del City and Midwest City and Choctaw. Let's go back to the intensity on that. And that's moving to the northeast. And you see that hail core right now in Midwest City. That's up to about golf ball size in the Midwest City area. Now, thunder and lightning here, a lot of noise. But there are no areas of significant spin, but you see the tremendous amount of lightning. So noisy outside, lots of cloud-to-ground lightning, looking at it right there. And that's for Cleveland and Oklahoma counties. Now, let's go ahead and head on out west. Let's broaden out and then head on out west. Perfect. So we have more coming in from Grady County. And then we have this activity in northern Oklahoma. Got a supercell out here by Leedy with some really big hail there. West of Leedy, big supercell there. And let's go ahead and head on back down here toward Kingfisher and Greenfield and Gary and take a look at this area here. This is the most significant activity in central Oklahoma, but the tornado warning for Kingfisher County from the lead storm has been canceled, and still some spin near Greenfield, near and east of Greenfield right now. Let's show you the velocity on that. Let's check out the shear. Let's look at the shear markers on that, the mesocyclone tracks. That lead tornado really dissipated very quickly. And you see it how it just completely went away. And now we still have some spin, mesocyclone tracks here coming back up from Gary and Greenfield. Let's go back over to the chopper here and take a look at this from Bob Moore Chopper 4. And this is the area here going to be near Gary and Greenfield. Still a wall cloud here, clearly see it. Again, John Welsh, pretty slow rotation, but yes, it is spinning.
You can see just from just the last bit, there was a lot more scud that's coming down, or that was down. Now it's starting to lift up here a little bit. There is a lot of broad rotation, however, nothing is very tight. You'll see like a couple little lowerings that'll come down. So one of those will come down, it'll start to spin, I don't know, pretty decent. The other will rise up, however, then another lowering will come down right to the left or right of it. It seems like they're kind of leapfrogging each other in this cloud, and then it'll kind of do business as usual. It'll rise up and then just continue to track towards the northeast. The rain has started to pick up just a little bit on the backside of it, so right behind that lowering there. So this storm is still tracking towards the northeast. It's obviously up 270. It's going to be east of 270 now a little bit. So we're going to sit here and watch it, but at this time, just a lot of broad rotation and nothing too severe out of this, Mike.
Okay, John, appreciate that. Aaron Brackett's also there. So what we're looking at here, this is going to be just north of I-40, a little ways to the west of Calumet and to the west-northwest of El Reno. Still a mesocyclone, still spinning. Rotation's reasonably slow, but it is still a severe storm and still does have some tornado potential with it. Our tornado watch very much does continue. Let's go to Aaron Brackett here and get an update also on that storm. Aaron?
Yeah, looking at it from the bottom, it really does appear like it ate up a lot of the energy from the part that Mark Dillard was on just a little bit ago. Noticing something, too, our temperature is about 70 degrees right here, so it's gone down substantially. But still, you know, just as John was noting up from the air, there is that broad rotation. There is a little bit of rising scud. Nothing real scary at the moment, nothing real imminent at the moment, but like we've been saying, you know, on a day like today, high-risk PDS day, you want to watch every little bit of rotation, and that's what we're going to do. Mike?
Okay, Aaron, appreciate that. So we're looking pretty good right now. We're looking pretty good here as far as ongoing tornado warnings. We're in much better shape now than we were about 30 minutes ago. Everything currently is ramping down, and we hope that trend very much continues. So we're going to keep tracking this, of course. Tell you what, we have an update here from Kevin Ogle, who I think is over at the news desk. And Kevin, things do look much better now. The tornado warning for Blaine County and Kingfisher County is going to be allowed to completely expire, as this mesocyclone here is just not strong enough. That tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire, and when it does, we will have no tornado warnings in the state of Oklahoma anywhere in the state at this very moment in time. Now, about 30 minutes to 45 minutes ago, we had multiple tornadoes on the ground. We're showing those to you. The PDS tornado watch does continue until 8, and we'll be right back with you. Over to Kevin at the desk.
Mike, thank you very much. But boy, what a tornado outbreak we have had today. Have you been watching Mike and the team here on News Channel 4? You've seen tornadoes all over western, southwestern, northwestern Oklahoma. Now, let me just tell you, we've been checking with county sheriffs, the OHP, law enforcement, and all these communities that have been in the bullseye of some of these tornadoes. So far, we don't have any major damage reported, but we do have a picture from the Cordell area in Ouachita County. If we can show that in a little bit, we can show you some of that. We can show you some of that damage here. It is loaded in the computer, and we'll try and show you that in just a little bit. We will continue to check with those folks and see if they do have any damage at all, because once again, these tornadoes have really been scattered, and a lot of these areas are rural, so it takes the county authorities a while to get out and check all of those places. When you're dealing with a town or a city, it's a lot easier to check because everything's congregated right there. But in these widespread, large Oklahoma counties where you have farms and ranches and outbuildings and things like that, it takes the county authorities a little while to go check everything to make sure there were no significant damage areas or injuries. We're not hearing about any of that right now here on Oklahoma's News Channel 4, but we continue to check it. Again, I talked to the Ouachita County Sheriff's Office. It's been about 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago, and they told me they had a lot of wind, a lot of hail there in that particular area, but that they did not in Cordell have any tornado damage in the city. Let's show you the video. I'm being told right now we want to show you the video when all this started. This was early this afternoon. This is near Martha, Oklahoma, which is in Jackson County. It's just south of Martha. It's a small community there. And this is when all of this started. We knew that things were going to get pretty wild. Mike knew that last night. And of course, it has been deemed a particularly dangerous situation, a PDS day. And this is video we got from Martha earlier today. That's down there a little bit south of Altus, I believe, near the Altus area. And you can see it beginning to rope out there. But we knew then that we were going to be seeing some tornadic activity. And again, Mike and the team have shown you a lot of this kind of thing today, where they form and then they come down for a little bit and then they go back up, they recharge, they form, they come back down again. And Crescent School Library, we're being told, is open for shelter. Do we have any reports of damage near Crescent? Well, that is just for a shelter in case you don't have a storm shelter in your area in Crescent. You can go to the library there because we do have storms heading that way.
That's right. And we do know that the Commissioner of Public Safety, who was authorized by the governor to do this, has announced that because of the inclement weather, state agencies can temporarily reduce non-essential personnel. Now, they did that earlier this afternoon in some of these areas that were affected. You've watched our coverage. You know that the storms have moved quickly. Some have been very strong. So far, no reports of major damage, but we're continuing to gather that information.
And we are getting video and pictures of the funnels as they come down. This is from Blair, Oklahoma. I believe this is one of our storm trackers, and you can see the tornado there off in the distance. A lot of this, as we said earlier, is in rural Oklahoma, so you're going to see a lot of hay bales, a lot of big rolls of hay. You're going to see a lot of winter wheat coming up and cattle. That's the structure I was talking about near Cordell, Linda.
Thanks to Rita, yeah.
Yeah. She sent that in, and we don't know if that was a tornado, a straight line wind, but again, that outbuilding appears to be leveled.
We have a lot of rain and thunder and some hail coming into the metro, but so far, nothing severe in terms of tornadic activity. Mike's been following that for you. So know that if you're getting a deluge of rain, that's what it is for the time being. No danger in Oklahoma City at this hour.
Well, they were really worried about that tornado system that was coming up toward Kingfisher, and thankfully, it fell apart there, but they continue to watch things further southwest as well. Again, in the Crescent area, if you're there, you don't have a storm shelter, you're worried about this, the library is the place you can go for that.
And let me tell you, if you're even without power, don't forget that you can use our apps, and they are so very valuable. Even if I didn't work here, I'd be using this. I'll tell you, you can watch the live stream of the forecasts and warnings. It gives you a radar so you can see exactly where the storms are in terms of where your home may be. And you can even put your home address in it so that it's highlighted on the screen so you can see exactly where the storms are in relationship to your home address. It's an amazing feature, and it's reassuring oftentimes to be able to see your home and know that you're not in danger.
Exactly. It's an incredible app. Now let's show you our radio partners, because if some chance you need to get out and go somewhere, but you want to stay tuned into our coverage here, these are our radio partners you can tune to. Ironically, the Twister 101.9, 96.1, and all those right there, 94.7, the Brew, KTOK, And KJ 103, you see the whole list right there if you're going to be out and about and you want to keep up with the progress of the storm.
Mike Morgan has done a tremendous job of watching these storms for the past several hours. Let's go back to him now for an update, Mike.
Well, Linda, we are in good shape. There are no tornado warnings in effect right now, and that's really good. That's a major step forward compared to about 45 minutes ago when we had multiple tornadoes on the ground. And as you alluded to, the tornadoes done a good job, at least in most areas, of not hitting major areas. Now, there is some scattered damage around, and there's areas that we have not been able to check on the damage because it's been involved in storm activity, especially around Weatherford and up toward Gary and Greenfield and west of Kingfisher and Okarche. But right now, we're in much better shape, at least for the time being, than we were about 45 minutes to 1 hour ago. Let me show you the current watch warning situation that we have right now. And this particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch, continues until 8 o'clock tonight. We do have severe weather ramping up in western Oklahoma. You folks in Leedy in particular, Leedy, rotation there is picking up quite a bit. And severe thunderstorm warnings for Woodward, severe thunderstorm warnings near and north of Alva, severe thunderstorm warnings Lawton down through Faxon and Geronimo and Manitou and Frederick on down toward Walters and Cookietown down here in southwest Oklahoma. Severe thunderstorm warnings around Gary and Greenfield right now, and severe thunderstorm warnings in Oklahoma and western Lincoln County. Still very unstable, a lot of energy still yet to be used up, so these are going to keep going for quite some time, and a lot of hailstorms in western Oklahoma. The more storms are better today because they compete with one another and keeps any storm from becoming completely dominant for the most part. And this activity near Alva that earlier had that intermittent long track tornado, it's now lifted up north of Alva, approaching the Kansas border right now. And we have severe storms with some rotation around Woodward currently. So some rotation around Woodward. Zoom in here just a bit, and you see there goes the Alva storm lifting north, and this storm with some rotation near Woodward currently, and also some rotation picking up near Leedy and Camargo right now. And that rotation is increasing, and if it increases much more, we're going to have a tornado warning come out for this one. But right now, it is just a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, and it is heading for Camargo and for the northwest side of Leedy. And then here's central Oklahoma. So we still have a hook here west of Kingfisher. We have the chopper on that. And then some severe thunderstorms here in Oklahoma County. And this is over here by Choctaw and Harrah and Spencer and Jones and east of Norman. Still no real organized rotation here with these. And the hail sizes with these are generally dimes, nickels, and some quarters. There's some quarter-size hailstones around Choctaw right now, and more activity coming up from the southwest. Now, these are big supercells down here, the Chattanooga-Granfield area. So we're talking about Cotton County, southern Comanche County, down through far southern Tillman County. A lot of hail here and a lot of damaging winds and flooding rainfall with those. But there's been so many storms today. In this particular case, that's been a really, really good thing for us. So let's go ahead and go over to the storm tracker, and we'll go to the storm tracker here and check out. This is central Oklahoma right now. Again, we're in really good shape for the moment. Really, really good shape. There are no tornado warnings anywhere in our state right now at all. None. But a lot of lightning and thunder, a lot of noise here in Oklahoma City. And we still have a hook here, but the tornado warning has been allowed to expire east of Watonga and east of Greenfield and southwest of Kingfisher. Let's go ahead and show you that from one of our live streams. Got a couple of crews, 3 crews on it in the chopper currently, and we can show that to you as it travels up toward the Kingfisher area with a severe thunderstorm warning in progress there. But again, no tornado warnings are in effect. Let's go to Mark Dillard here live. Mark?
Yes, Mike. Just continue with this area of broad rotation. At times it will kind of tighten up, and it's got some wrapping rain curtains around it, but nothing imminent tornadic with this. I see that they did just reissue or extend the severe thunderstorm warning up into Kingfisher County to include the Kingfisher area. So probably some hail up in there as well. Haven't seen a lot of hail today, Mike, actually. We've been trying to stay out just ahead and south and east of the hail cores, so haven't come across very much hail at all today. But mainly dealing with the tornadic rotations that the storms earlier had. Great news that we're still this early in the day and don't have any active tornado warnings in the state proper. So hopefully that trend will continue. Back to you, Mike.
Okay, Mark, appreciate that. So if we can take the chopper shot here and take a look. Got a nice hail shaft there, a nice rain shaft, and we can show you the view from Bob Moore Chopper 4. Now, John Welsh has been tracking this here out of the Cordell area earlier, where there was some tornado damage very close to Cordell. Now we're tracking this up kind of in far western and northwestern Canadian County. John, if you're with us here, let's get the latest from you.
You can see it's pretty much raining itself out. It's actually the bases have came up. There's really no lowering that we can see. We're on the south side of it now, shooting back towards the north. Just northeast of it, where we normally hang out, the turbulence is almost severe. We had to kind of back away. We were just getting completely beat up right in there. It's blowing all out here. Storm looks like it's falling apart, and when it does, you got a lot of outflow winds. It's pretty severe out of it. You can see the very top of the base is probably 4,000 or 5,000 feet now, where before when we were.
Okay, John, appreciate that. So what we're going to do here is go to the storm tracker, and we're talking about this storm right here. Again, no tornado warnings are in effect. We have none right now. That's really, really good news. And this one is going into some cooler air that is laid down by the first storm. Now, both of these are still rotating, but they're generally continuing to weaken a fair amount. And then here's Oklahoma City and Guthrie and Edmond, and over through eastern Oklahoma County and western Lincoln County. And these have a lot of small hail, dimes, nickels, and quarters here. So we're talking about northeastern Cleveland County, eastern Oklahoma County, over into the Guthrie area. Some dimes and nickels here. A lot of thunder and lightning. There might be a couple of quarters around. Lots of noise, a lot of thunder and lightning, a lot of heavy rainfall. But that area is now pushing to the northeast into Lincoln County, out of eastern Oklahoma County. So the rain and storms have ended now in Edmond and the Village and downtown Oklahoma City and Moore and Norman. Those rain and storm areas have weakened. Let's go over to Max 2. And again, here's the overview. This is the broad view, the overview.
Tornado on the ground, unconfirmed, north of Alva on 281.
Okay, on 281. I think Corey's up there. We can talk to Corey, perhaps up there north of Alva. So there may be, it's going to be really right here on the fringe of our viewing area, but unconfirmed report of a tornado on the ground north of Alva. Okay, let's go to Corey Inman here for far northern Oklahoma there. Corey?
Yeah, Mike, we're up here near Alva. We haven't seen anything on the ground. There was an area of pretty strong rotation, and it broadened out really quick once it hit the rain-cooled air from the previous storm, and the lowering that was associated with it completely fell apart. We turned around and are headed back to the southwest towards Woodward now. Don't see anything back in there that would look like a tornado on the ground at this time. Back to you.
Okay, Corey, appreciate that very much. Appreciate that a lot. That's for you folks up in the Alva area, up in the Woods County area. So, you know, we're looking in remarkably good shape here. Let's go ahead and go on back here to the warnings. So severe for northern Woods, north of Alva. Severe for Woodward. There is some rotation with that. Mike Bennett is jumping on that one right now. And severe for Camargo and Lady, coming out of Ellis County into western Dewey County, severe there. And severe for Blaine up into Kingfisher County, but that's not nearly as strong as it was. Got Emily on that one and Bob Moore Chopper 4 on that one. Severe eastern Oklahoma County, severe northeastern Cleveland County, and severe down in Comanche County and also in Cotton County and central and eastern Tillman County, severe there as well. So the tornado watch continues until 8 o'clock tonight. It does include most of the Oklahoma City metro area. Still very unstable. You see the tornado reports that we've had today, several down in southwest Oklahoma, several around the Cordell area, and several up here, quite a few up here by Bouse Junction and Sealing, kind of an intermittent long track tornado there, some up there near Alva. So very, very roughly speaking, there's been anywhere from about 7 or 8 to about 12 or 14 tornadoes today, just in Oklahoma. Just a very broad number there. And we'll go ahead and zoom on in and take a closer look here at the activity that we have right now. But there are no tornado warnings in effect anywhere. This is a pretty stout storm around Woodward currently. Possible tornado up there on the Kansas border. That's going into Kansas. And still a supercell out there by Leedy as well. So this one by Woodward has good size hail with it. And this one right here by Camargo still has a little bit of a lot of mid-level rotation with that one, but not a major concern down at low level, so that's good. So tornado not imminent there, but it is rotating. And still some weakening rotation still there. Weakening rotation west of Kingfisher, not nearly as strong as it was earlier in Kingfisher County. That's good. And then here's the metro from Guthrie down to Arcadia and Luther, Arcadia and Luther down to Choctaw, Choctaw and Hera, over toward Hera and Dale. Hera, Dale, and the Twin Lakes area on down toward Purcell. Tell you what, on Max 3, I want to go into this area here by Dale. Let's go on into this area here by Dale, and we're talking about northeastern Cleveland County. I want to go into this area by Dale. Let's check this. We've got to check the velocity out on this. Something a little bit funky is going on right here. Northeastern Cleveland County. Yeah, there's a little area spin right there. Go to the intensity on that. Go to the intensity on that. And we'll just kind of watch that carefully. Okay, so that's lifting on up toward Dale and McLeod and I-40 east of Choctaw, a little ways east of Choctaw. Go back to the velocity on that. Go back to the velocity on that. Okay, nothing too organized right there, but there is a little bit of increasing rotation, but nothing. Go to the hail size on that. So this is up here by McLeod and Dale, I-40 area, west of Shawnee. And it's got a pretty good hail core coming up on it as well. So that's worth watching. This is going to be for northwestern Potawatomi County up into Lincoln County. Let's go back to the intensity on that. This one's worth watching for sure. And be prepared for some hail getting bigger. Quarter size, could be going to golf ball size. But watch that carefully. Folks around McLeod, pay attention to that. And Dale and Twin Lakes. And also east of Choctaw up toward Jacktown and west of Meeker on 62. Stay alert. Talking about northwestern Potawatomi, far southeastern Oklahoma County, and southwestern Lincoln County. Stay alert on that. A little rotation there starting to pick up just a bit. Back over to Max 2. Let's go ahead and broaden out on that view. So that's that particular storm right there. And then coming back into the Norman area, not a big problem there. Lots of heavy rain, flooding likely down here by Grandfield. This is southwestern and south central Oklahoma. Lots of big hailers here, large hail damaging winds, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. And then we have a storm here going up pretty quickly in Carter County. There's some fairly slow mid-level rotation with those right now in Carter County, lifting basically due northward, and that's not too far from Elmore City and just to the south of Wynnewood and just south of Elmore City right now. And there's the broad view, central and western Oklahoma. Again, no tornado warnings are in effect, so we're in really good shape there. Let's go back over to Max 3, and we're going to go ahead and kind of jump back into this area in northeastern Cleveland County. And then let's walk on over to this cell in Kingfisher County. And let's go ahead and talk to Mark Dillard and the chopper here. And areas continue to weaken there the way it looks. Not a tornado threat whatsoever there. Let's go over to Mark Dillard live. Mark?
Yes, Mike, continue with this area. I mean, it's slow rotation, but it's really undercut, Mike. We've got an outflow from it, a west wind, and temperatures dropped. So it's not feeding on that warm moisture that we had earlier this afternoon. Hopefully it'll just kind of spin down and kind of.
Okay. Yep, Mark, appreciate that. So here's the view there. We're in really good shape. We're going to go back to the news desk with Kevin and Linda, and we'll be right back with you guys.
And we want to remind you to stay forewarned with the latest severe weather watches and warnings.
Download the Forewarn Me app, easy to do, and best of all, it is free. You can find it on Google Play or the App Store, and remember to opt in for push alerts so you can directly be warned about things that are going on. For more information, just head over to our website, KFOR.com.
And you may be traveling tonight. If so, make sure to listen to our radio partners. If we are live with severe weather coverage, you can catch us on those stations.
We're going to check back in with Mike in just a minute. But first, our other big story today, of course, at the state capitol. Sarah Stewart is there live for us. Sarah, have they come up with a budget yet?
Still a budget battle.
You know, that's right, it is. And, you know, last night we were reporting that possibly a deal had been struck as leaders of both parties met into the evening with the governor. But today we know those negotiations unraveled as the fight over the gross production tax reaches new levels.
It was sad when that great ship went down.
We are not going to let this ship sink. Let's save our state.
The group Save Our State lobbying to restore the gross production tax on oil and gas wells to 7%. Delivering dozens of letters to House Speaker Charles McCall.
We don't have to hit the iceberg.
My caucus walked in this morning and accepted a 5% deal starting July 1 on all new wells. We accepted the deal. We're done. We're ready to go. and then they pulled the deal out from underneath us.
House Minority Leader Scott Inman says Democrats thought they had a deal last night to raise that tax to 5%, but that the oil and gas industry is standing in the way.
And they are literally busing people in today. As I stand here today, there are dozens and dozens of people being bussed in here today to come and keep the gross production tax at 2%.
Those people waiting in the hallway outside Inman's press conference, getting into arguments with the Save Our State group.
Is it trickling down or is it from the ground?
I'll give you a wild guess. Right now, the oil and gas industry is paying almost 25% of the taxes of the state of Oklahoma.
So for now, the clock keeps ticking as the negotiations and fighting continue. And reportedly, those negotiations are ongoing this evening. If they do not come to a deal, could mean that we're headed for a special session. Reporting live at the state capitol, Sarah Stewart, Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
Sarah, thank you very much. And we're hearing from Will Rogers World Airport. They're reminding you that they are not a public shelter. So avoid trying to go there if you're looking for shelter from storms, although there are no tornado warnings as I understand it right now.
And that's the good news. Let's make sure that's still the way it is. Let's go back to Mike in the Fort Warren Storm Center.
Yeah, that is true. There are no tornado warnings in effect. And I tell you right now, we just had a chance to kind of look at everything. And I can tell you that the trend still continues really good. So let's just say that, you know, again, the trend looks really good as far as what we've had already today. There's been somewhere around 8 to maybe 12 or 14 tornadoes in Oklahoma. There's been a lot that have bounced up and down and stuff, but we've had a pretty decent little tornado outbreak in parts of the state. There has been some damage out there. As far as we know, there hasn't been any widespread major damage like what we had in Elk City a couple of days ago, although there is still some rural areas that we have yet to be able to investigate as far as any of the damage. But let me just tell you right now, here it is 6 minutes after 6, and it's looking really good. We will likely still have some additional tornado warnings, but it's looking, the trend here is really good, especially for portions of western and central Oklahoma. Again, not to say at all that it is over, because it is not. However, the trend right now is really good. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. Here in Oklahoma City, we've had showers and thunderstorms come through. There's been some hail around. Right now, there are no tornado warnings in effect. A brand new tornado watch has now come out for north central and most of northeastern Oklahoma. And here are the severe thunderstorm warnings currently near and east of Woodward to Moreland, in the Camargo area, heading up to Lenora in Dewey County, a little ways to the west of Putnam and Taloga. Severe thunderstorm warning here for Dover and Kingfisher County. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Lincoln County, northern Pottawatomie County, far eastern Oklahoma County. Severe thunderstorm warnings down around Elmore City and Garvin County, western Murray County, northern Carter County. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Tillman County, also Cotton County and Comanche County. So all severe thunderstorm warnings, just to repeat, there are right now no tornado warnings in effect anywhere in Oklahoma. And we have a lot of storm trackers out. The very unstable weather is now starting to shift a little further into eastern Oklahoma. And that's why there's a tornado watch in effect now for much of eastern Oklahoma as well. So we still have tornado watches out west, tornado watches here in central Oklahoma. In fact, the entire state is just about under a tornado watch, although there are pockets here where it's not very unstable anymore. And these storms, all these storms you see here, a lot of the structure of these storms is actually sensing the fact that it is not as unstable as it was earlier, especially in much of western Oklahoma. It is not as unstable out here. There are temperatures in the 60s out in this part of the state right now. And these are sensing that fact that it is not as unstable. And that's really, really good news. So we're getting a lot of rotation that is up at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and they can't work down to the lower levels of the atmosphere because it isn't very unstable down near the ground. So we have spinning storms with hailstorms, but we're not getting much in the way of really organized lower level rotation. So this trend continues really good. And that's the case with these out by Camargo. Mid-level rotation, not much low-level rotation, also up by Woodward and near Sharon. So we're just letting you know the very latest trends, and the trends are in many parts of central and western Oklahoma. The trend continues very, very good. So, you know, we talk about the risk for severe weather, and we ramp up to that, and we've had a lot of tornadoes today. So now I'm just indicating to you and passing along to you that the trend is much better. Now, we still have some rotation here near Kingfisher and southwest of Dover. That storm is severe and still has some pretty good size hail with it. And then here in Oklahoma City, we have some hailstorms here. This was a lot of dime, nickel, and some quarters, but nothing too organized rotation-wise here. It is more unstable and warmer in Lincoln and Pottawatomie counties, so these could ramp up. That's why there's a new tornado watch from this line of storms eastward over into Lincoln and Creek and Ofuskie and Seminole and Pottawatomie counties ahead of that line of storms. New tornado watches there. And then flooding rainfall here, Grandfield back down to Walters. And flooding rainfall, large hail here, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. That's southwestern Oklahoma, but no tornado warnings. And also severe storms near Elmore City, north of Ardmore and north of the Arbuckles, or in the Arbuckles right now, and north and west of Springer and west of Davis and Sulphur. Severe storms there, lifting due northward. And here's kind of the broad view, central and western Oklahoma. Again, a lot of mid-level rotation in these, but there's no low-level rotation right now in any of these storms. Now, new tornado warnings may go into effect a little bit later, but right now, no imminent risk of any tornadic activity right now in really any of these storms, and that includes the ones right around Oklahoma City. So we can take an exhale here for the time being and a sigh of relief, as these are definitely been ramping down. We went from a lot of tornadoes at the same time about an hour and a half ago to right now, no tornado warnings at all whatsoever. Let's go over to Max 3. We're going to show you some pictures from our viewers. This was Cordell and William Gorley. Appreciate that. We had some tornado damage earlier around Cordell. Kevin was talking about that. And there's all that spray. You know, you see all these high velocity winds and spray. On days like this, that's quite possibly in or near a mesocyclone. You know, could be a tornadic mesocyclone. You get all this spray that's really blowing around 60, 70, 80 mile an hour winds. That's from William Gorley earlier. That's not live. Earlier in Cordell. And that's a good 80 mile an hour wind right there. It's a really, really strong wind blowing off that 70, 80 mile an hour wind blowing off that roof there in the Cordell area. So, William, we appreciate that. So here's the tornado near Chester. This is what we're showing you live from Mike Bennett. From Stacy, this was a multi-vortex tornado, and it was on the ground, off the ground for quite some time as it came out of northern Dewey County into far western Major County, up into the Chester area and Bouse Junction, up to near Waynoka. There's the Duke tornado from Tracy. Appreciate that. This was much earlier in the day down in southwest Oklahoma in Jackson County near Duke, Oklahoma. This tornado was on again, off again in the west-northwest Altus area up by Duke and Marfa. This is from Paula Fuquay there from Waynoka. There's the tornado in the Waynoka area. We talked about that earlier. Again, these are not live. These are a little earlier in the day. So this is from Waynoka, from Paula. Appreciate that. There's the Waynoka tornado and another view there from Gerald. And that also kind of looks like that could be the Waynoka tornado. Tough to say exactly where that is in western Oklahoma. Either a tornado there or the edge of a really strong mesocyclone with intermittent perhaps touchdowns there, the way it looks from Gerald. So appreciate that, Gerald Benson there. Earlier today, so that's what we have going on right now. Let's go to the storm tracker and take a look at the storm tracker. And here's Oklahoma County. Storms have moved east of Oklahoma City right now. A few storms coming into Norman right now, but they're no big deal. A lot of thunder and lightning here. Still a pretty interesting storm here near Shawnee and Dale. Still a little bit of rotation there. So still watching that one near the Twin Lake, Shawnee, Dale area, but no tornado warning there. And then let's go back to Mark Dillard here if we can, west of Kingfisher and west of Dover. That storm looks elevated, looks weaker in nature, still has a feeder band coming into it. You see it right there in the middle of your screen. Feeder band there feeding into the rotation right there, but it is cooler now up in Kingfisher County. Mark, these obviously don't have the energy they had earlier. What do you have?
Yes, Mike. Still continue to trend down as far as the real high-end severe potential with this. We're going to continue to drift along with it just to keep an eye on it in case it runs across a boundary or anything later. But other than that, it does not look like it's got any real high-end severe potential left in it. So hopefully the trend continues down and we can all kind of take a big sigh of relief that we didn't see more high-end severe weather, especially in this part of the state. Back to you.
Mark, appreciate that. This was earlier Kingfisher County showing this was early the tornadic activity. Again, not as strong as it was. Inflow band here coming in, feeder band coming into it, but just not as energized as they were earlier. So that really continues to be really, really good news. So let's go ahead and show you an overview here on Max 2. And just to give you an overview here, the tornado watches continue, yes, but there are no tornado warnings right now. There are some heavy storms around. Ardmore, also up near the Arbuckles, Davison, Sulphur area. Really heavy storms, severe storms. Granfield, this is south central Oklahoma, Geronimo, the Walters area. Now here's the metro. And still an area here that's near Pink, northeast of Pink there, not too far from Dale. That's a little interesting there from time to time, but that's heading into Lincoln County and Pottawatomie County. You are under a tornado watch now. Severe thunderstorm warnings, but still organization on that rotation really has not come up very much. And then here's the Kingfisher storm. Mark Dillard just showed you pictures of that. And storms are now not approaching Oklahoma City. They are not approaching the metro, the Oklahoma City metro. They're not directly approaching us right now. So we're in really, really, really good shape. We're in really good shape for Oklahoma City right now. Really good shape. Let's hope it stays that way. Nothing approaching us right now. And it's so important to stress that we're in really, really good shape. And if it changes, we're going to let you know for sure. But we're in really good shape as far as any storms approaching Oklahoma City at this moment in time. So near and east of Woodward, near Moreland, and then west of Waynoka here, this storm is still severe, and that's moving to the east-northeast. And here's kind of the broad view of north central Oklahoma here. So you see severe by Camargo and Visay, severe near Moreland, Woodward, and severe still Kingfisher. We just showed you a picture of that. And heavy storms coming into Stillwater and Perkins right now. And then severe from Kearney down to Chandler, Chandler down to Meeker and Jacktown, and then Meeker and Jacktown down to west of Shawnee. And the very unstable weather starting to shift further to the east over into and east of I-35. It's still in the more 70s and lower and mid 80s in this part of the state. Western Oklahoma is in the 60s right now. Very, very cool. So Kevin and Linda, again, the trend continues really good, and there are no tornado warnings in effect, and we'll be right back with you.
Mike Morgan, thank you very much. And as you've been with us this afternoon, you know that our programming has been switched around a bit. If you're a Jeopardy fan, know that we haven't forgotten about you. We are re-airing that program Friday at 2 a.m.
All right, now let's take a look at some pictures that are coming into us. This is that Cordell damage video picture we got earlier. This is from Rita. Rita, thank you very much. We're not sure if this was tornado, straight line winds, but it did damage to an apparent outbuilding.
And you've sent us good pictures of the storms as they moved through Blair. Gary, we appreciate this look. Well, thank you very much.
Let's take a look at some of the hail that came down too, because there were some big showers of hail that came down, quarter size there. I've seen pictures of even larger than that, but that was near I-240 and Sooner Road. That's from Ruth. Ruth, we appreciate that.
All right, and Crescent Schools sent out a message earlier. The south side door to the library will be open for a shelter in case of a tornado. As Mike's told you, however, that danger appears to have been passed.
And that's great news.
Yeah,
more hail to show you. This from Waynoka, and that's a little bit bigger, Linda, than what we saw earlier. Any of it is not good, but that hail fell in that area. That's from Owlets.
And Mike Morgan, you've been following these, and you've reassured us that we're in good shape right now and that most of the storms appear to be moving toward Tulsa now. Is that right?
They are certainly making an effort to get on past the I-35 corridor right now. So here's the metro. So, and we just want to repeat that, right? Because if there's urgency and the need to be urgent, we're going to tell you that is the case. And when there isn't, we're also going to tell you that. So, and right now things are not as volatile as they were earlier. So we're looking at the various views here of the severe activity. Let's go to the storm tracker and look at central Oklahoma. And central Oklahoma here, there's Oklahoma City right here. There's Norman. Here's Oklahoma City. Here's Edmond. Here's Guthrie. And then we still have some spin up here by Dover. We're going to go to Mark Dillard here on that momentarily. Doesn't look too ominous right now. And then heavy storms, Perkins down to Kearney, Kearney down to west of Chandler, and west of Chandler down to Meeker, and then Meeker and Jacktown down to Shawnee and Tecumseh, and then on down into the South Norman area. These storms are severe in Lincoln County especially, and also severe in northern Pottawatomie County here. But no signs of any organized large-scale rotation right there that we got to be immediately concerned about tornadic activity. And, of course, the storm near Dover is severe. Let's go to Mark Dillard and talk again about that storm. Still has some big hail with it. And earlier we had tornadic activity up in this part of the state, up in western Kingfisher County. And Mark's been right on that storm. What do you see right now, Mark?
Yes, Mike. I'm in downtown Kingfisher. Just really dark off to the north. A lot of rain up there. Not much, as far as rotation feature left in this. It's really spun down quite a bit. Still continue with a slight area of rotation, very, very broad, but it's really starting to contract a whole lot, and may have a pocket of some fairly large hail still left in it, but trend is down on this one, Mike. Back to you.
Okay, appreciate that, Mark Dillard. Really do appreciate that, the Dover area here. So if you're just joining us, let's take a look at what we had happen today. So basically at about 1:30, supercells really developed fast in southwest Oklahoma, and they went from basically a cloud to a tornado on the ground in a really short period of time. So let's show you that. This is down here in Jackson County. This is going to be beginning west of Altus, and then west-northwest, and then northwest and north-northwest of Altus. This was from Aaron Brackett, Kevin Cosby, Mark Dillard. Had quite a few storm trackers on these. We're showing these live. And this was an amazing supercell that kept on trucking on up toward Kingfisher County, and it's now in Kingfisher County. So it's been going from near Altus in southwest Oklahoma up into Kingfisher County. Looks like even a separate area of possible funnel activity right there. So a little funnel off to the side of the rope tornado. And this got fairly large for a little while, and then it redeveloped again a little ways on the southeast side of Mangum. So this is like northern Jackson County, northwest of Altus, and produced some really big hail, had some really large hail with it, and that has been the primary big supercell of the day. And then let's go over to Mike Bennett. We had up here in northern Oklahoma. This was another area here that had multiple tornado touchdowns. Now this one got Okay, tornado warning going in effect for Cotton and Stevens. We'll show you that here coming up. This was a multi-vortex tornado near Bouse Junction. Now let's go on over to this ongoing live and kind of pause that tape here. Let's go on over. Here's the tornado warning for Cotton and Stevens right now. And this is Marlow-Duncan area, Cotton and Stevens County. Tornado warning in effect there. It's the only tornado warning in the state right now. Let's go on over to Max 3 and take a look at that area of intensifying rotation. So it's going to be this area on the east side of Walters, it's the leading edge of all these severe storms. Say that again? Golf balls coming down in the Walters area right now, golf ball size hail. And this is going to be rapidly forming rotation here. It went from basically a gust front to spin very, very quickly. Conditions are still favorable where it's warm enough to get spinning storms that may still produce tornadoes. There's still tornado watches in effect. Other parts of the state are much, much cooler. Southern Oklahoma is warmer. And this is where we have this tornado potential here continuing. And that's why the tornado watches continue. So this is Duncan, Comanche. So we're talking about Highway 53, Walters eastbound, Highway 53 to Comanche. And that rotation came up quite quickly right there, right over on the eastern sides of Walters down in southern Oklahoma. Let's go to the intensities and look at that. And you see here on the intensity field here, part of a big complex of storms down here in southern Oklahoma. And you see how quickly the rotation there formed, very, very quickly down here, right over and just on the eastern sides of Walters. Let's look at the hail size here. So this is heading into the Comanche area and the Duncan area down in south central Oklahoma. And the hail, that's like 4-inch diameter hail. So this could be some of that softball size hail, huge hail core. So this storm really has intensified very, very rapidly down here in south central Oklahoma. Let's do a storm projection on that. So this is going to be 4-inch diameter hail. Storm projection on that, Comanche and Duncan. Comanche-Duncan area, the rotation now eastern sides of Walters, moving to the east-northeast. So we're talking about Comanche. Turn it a little more, undo it just a hair and turn it a little more, get Comanche in that, just to reset, just in case it turns right. So Comanche, Duncan area, and then Velma, perfect. Velma, Alma, Fuquay, and then up toward Elmore City. So you folks up in this part of the state, stay alert. Tornado warning is in effect, and the rotation really came up there on the eastern side of Walters. So Stevens County, tornado warning now in effect for the Duncan area and also potentially Comanche. So Duncan and Comanche, Highway 81, and a little ways south of Oil City and Empire City down here in the southern parts of Oklahoma. Let's show you the broad view here, the tornado watches and warnings we have right now, and on Max 2. So there's the one tornado warning east of, just on the eastern side of Walters, rounding up toward Comanche and Duncan. So that tornado warning continues there. Severe thunderstorm warning still for the Moreland area. Severe thunderstorm warnings for the Visay and Tologa area. Let's talk about Dewey County there. Severe thunderstorm warnings still continue around Dover, up toward Hennessy and Kingfisher County. And severe thunderstorm warnings do continue for Lincoln County and Pottawatomie County. So those warnings stay in effect there, and then on down into south central Oklahoma. So here's the broad view showing all the tornadoes that we've had today, somewhere between about 7 or 8 and about 12 or 13. Difficult to tell exactly how many because a lot of them were coming up and coming back down and kind of hopping along. But there's several, quite a few up here around Bouse Junction up toward Waynoka and also near north of Alva. And now the big-time lightning here. Kevin and Linda, the big-time lightning has pushed east of Oklahoma City, and there's nothing coming in, approaching the metro right now from the west, so that's really good news. We're still tracking this. We'll be right back with you.
We know you are. Thank you, Mike. Speaking of that lightning, we're going to tell you about some power outages in a minute, but first we want to show you some damage.
I want to take you down to Amber. Our folks down there had some damage. You can see that it overturned that trailer. Looks like it flipped it on its side, as well as that storage building in back. So far, Shelley, that's the only report we've had of damage in Amber, so we hope that that's the extent of it all.
Absolutely.
And Kevin was talking to you about power lines. Even one caught a fence on fire.
It did. Northwest 60th Street and Portland near the Northwest Expressway came down from the high wind, sparked a little bit of a fire, but that's taken care of now.
And our friends in Woodward are reporting some power outages. OG&E tells us they've got some crews there working on it. And of course, we'll continue to monitor it for you.
Let's get back to Mike. Take another look at that tornado warning down south.
Well, the Mesonet site in Walters just had 104-mile-an-hour wind gust, and that was likely due to a really intense mesocyclone that went right over the Walters Mesonet site. Just had 104-mile-an-hour winds down in the Walters Mesonet site. Gives you an idea of the strength and the power of these storms today. So 104 measured likely mesocyclone winds, rear flank downdraft winds. Could have been a side swipe from a tornado in the immediate Walters area in the Walters Mesonet site. So that's the one tornado warning that we have right now. Other parts of the state were in really much better shape than we were earlier today when we had multiple tornadoes on the ground, and now we only have this one, quite possibly tornado on the eastern side of Walters. So out west, these are severe out here, some hail, some wind in the Moreland area on up toward Boiling Springs and not too far from Freedom and the west side of Waynoka there, severe there, and then back down here toward east side of Camargo. Mid-level rotation here, it's too cool, likely too cool to get much of anything going on otherwise than that. Big hail mid-level rotation there, west and north of Tologa and southwest of Sealing. That storm is severe. Still some rotation around Hennessy right now. That rotation's picked up some, but Kingfisher County also is a lot cooler than it was a little while ago. So that's why that storm's really struggling and having trouble, and that's really good news too. Showers and thunderstorms, Stillwater down through Perkins down to Tryon and Agra, down to Chandler on the Turner Turnpike, and then on down here to Meeker and Jacktown, west of Prague a little ways, on down to Shawnee and Tecumseh and Dale. So Pottawatomie County there, Oklahoma County, we're in really good shape. Had a little hail come through, a lot of lightning and thunder and heavy rain, but we're in really good shape. That's Oklahoma City, Oklahoma County, really good shape. And then back down through Dibble, Kreiner, Cole, Washington, Norman, Purcell, scattered showers there. And then we have severe storms coming out of the Arbuckles right now. And this one big supercell right here, big supercell really spinning on the eastern sides of Walters. Let's go ahead and go over to Max 3 and take a closer look at that. And 104-mile-per-hour winds measured right around Walters, and it is tracking due eastward, pretty much down 53. So this is a heads up for Comanche and for Duncan in southern and southwestern Oklahoma, Stevens County here and Cotton County right here. So really strong spin coming down Highway 53 west of Comanche and southwest of Duncan right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the broad view on Max 2. And here's the broad view. Western Oklahoma, we're in good shape. Now thunderstorms will redevelop here, but as the upper storm comes on out, but it's so much cooler. The atmosphere is really stabilized a lot over in western and northwestern Oklahoma. Temperatures are in the 60s primarily in that part of the state, so really excellent shape. Now here's future radar. So here's 7:30 p.m. and basically this 7:30 p.m. shot, the computer is putting it over Oklahoma City, but the fact is that's just what came through. The computer's off by about an hour, and that happens a lot. And then storms up here in northern Oklahoma, but these, you see the big time trend here is for these storms as we head, see here, 8:30 p.m. this evening, the big time storms to be in south central Oklahoma and a little redevelopment through 8:30 in northern Oklahoma. Storms are pushing east of Oklahoma City. These keep on trucking around Ardmore and Wynnewood and the Arbuckles, so they keep going. The ones down by Walters right now. And by that time, we're talking about Ada. This is 10 o'clock tonight, this evening. Ada and over toward Johnston County and down toward Holdenville. Ada, Holdenville, this is future radar here. Supercells down in northern Texas, 9-10 p.m. Get a little redevelopment around midnight in northern Oklahoma. The dry line's still out to the west. We have another storm coming up for tomorrow. So the dry line's sitting out to the west. And the computer says that we kind of regenerate some storms later tonight with another wave.